Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in. Tap in.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top. Yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in.
Oh, I'm going to tap in for sure.
Tap in.
We done made it to another mother effing Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. Jay Black, Michael Shawn. I think we're holding it down for the whole show. Ovaries have been erratic.
They have been
erratic ovaries.
Rogue.
Rogue.
They call rogue. They going rogue. They all over the place.
They going rogue on us. I don't know where the ovaries at, but hopefully they'll be here. Shawnee Scott, Sexy Mo. We got a special appearance by Leah Frazier, our in-studio lawyer, who gets on here and does her thing and gives us all types of rational conversation and makes us realize how irrational we are when we have our debates and stuff like that. So we got that going on.
Very calming. And we got a funeral director, Shawnee has booked for today.
No, he gonna kill that. You already knew I was coming.
I ain't see that one coming that quick.
You already knew that I was coming. Yeah. We got a funeral director that's coming on, and he gonna kill that segment. That segment is gonna be done. That segment, he's gonna murder that.
You gotta say that again later.
I'm gonna say it every time. I'm not gonna stop saying murder jokes. Like
murder.
I'm not.
Oh God! All right, so yeah, so that's
funeral director.
That's gonna be interesting because I got real questions. Because I'm interested in the real process and understanding, because we really don't know the behind the scenes. And some people don't like talking about death, so it could be an interesting dialogue.
I mean, but if you get on the IG live so they can, because I can't be on here because it looks like I'm talking to myself for real. Like if you're not on here, somebody said my fingernails look clean. Thank you. I try. I took a thorough shower and everything like that. I try. They still a little raggedy. My cuticles ain't where they should be. I know that sounds a little feminine, but I like my cuticles to be right. But yeah, we got a funeral director that's gonna be on the show today, and we'll have. We're gonna have fun with it because it's Friday, and Tam, we back at it, and so we'll have a funeral. We'll find out like what goes on, like how do they pimp us in that moment of pain where they try and get us the Bentley.
You gonna ask that real question like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask that question. Unless Shawnee says there's something I shouldn't. Let me stop speaking out of turn. I want no smoke, but I'm just saying, like normally I would ask that type of question, like, do you feel some type of way when somebody's lost somebody and you're already trying to jack up the price to like $9,000, $10,000 for a casket that doesn't even come with Wi-Fi? Like it's
Wi-Fi though.
Like I don't even know.
No, but that's real. Cause I my wife be telling me sometimes I ask rude questions and like, no, they're guests. You can't ask certain things. I be thinking like, why? If I'm thinking it, why can't I ask? I think sometimes funeral directors they you in a weak moment and they trying to still get you to spend $6,000 on a casket when you already said you strapped for money. And why not suggest a $3,500 casket? Why not?
And listen, to be fair with them, they're trying to make a living off of this, so I get it. Like I understand that, but on the flip side, you got people doing like GoFundMe's. Like
the Wi-Fi is dead.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is dead. The Wi-Fi is dead. There is no Wi-Fi. But then, what is the real? Like I've never understand. And we won't get too much into this because we got him coming on the show. I've never understood the fascination of having to be in a knight's coffin to get put in the ground. Like I've never understood that. It's almost like buying a new suit to go mud wrestling.
But
I'm gone. Like I wish people would understand. Like the person is gone.
Well,
like,
Mike was a classy, fly dude. He was always stunting on people. He had that drip. He needed to go out in style. He need that drip coffin, son.
Yeah, but he dead. Like Mike's really gone. Like Mike don't get to enjoy this. Like Mike is gone. Like Mike is he's somewhere else. Like I know everybody thinks that the person that they're in the funeral is still chilling somewhere. What? They're gone. There's no heartbeat. So now we're getting pimped off of somebody that we're not even doing this for them. We're really doing it, I guess, for some type of memory. It's just we'll ask.
We'll talk. So yeah, we'll have that dialogue, that conversation, see how things go. I think he's going to be very open and honest. We'll find out if Shawnee. Here she go. Is there any questions off limits for the funeral director?
Or, no, he is like so crazy.
Oh, okay, so we're good. I didn't know if there was a.
You can cuss because he gonna cuss and he gonna be like for real, open about what goes on.
Did that wig just get delivered to you? Is that a wig you got? Because that is, your hair looks like really nice.
This is the same one I had on yesterday. This is the one I got for Valentine's Day. Yeah,
it does look different. Like
it looks different. Did you do something straight? What is it? What is the iron thing? The iron.
Oh, the flat iron.
The flat iron. Did you flat iron? Because I know I always see my girls in the mirror doing this shit right here, just flat iron. And okay.
No, I didn't flat iron. I had part of it back in like ponytails, and so I took them down. That's all.
And can you imagine if guys had something like that where we didn't have to go to the barbershop? We could just like really. It was something. I don't even know what the idea would be, but it would.
Well, I had to go to the beauty shop to get this one installed.
Oh, that one got installed.
Yeah, this like a real.
Oh, so it's staying for a couple days.
So you can't like when you at the restaurant and you looking at the menu, you can't move it or nothing. It's right.
I mean, you can move it.
Don't do it. Don't move it. I don't want to see it.
I know. I mean, it won't come off. But
you can hop on IG, Shawnee, so they can hear you.
Well, I'm still
downloading. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Aston. He's watching on Twitch right now. For those, what's all the platforms, Shawnee? We got Twitch. They can watch us on. We got
Twitch. We got Facebook. You can watch on LinkedIn. You can watch on YouTube. You can watch on Twitter. And you can watch on Media Room 360.
Roku, Amazon, Fire TV, Apple TV. That's a lot of joints you just named. I ain't know LinkedIn too. Wow. So yeah, there's a lot of platforms. Just search Media Room 360. Good morning, Tam. Good morning, Kathy Black.
Shout out to LinkedIn, because LinkedIn, when you get on LinkedIn, if you're not super professional with your situation, you just feel dumb as hell. Like LinkedIn really make you check your profile and make you edit it over and over and make sure your punctuation is correct, because you don't want nobody to look at it and be like, nah, he's not the one for the job. Like Facebook, I ain't scared of. Instagram, TikTok, all the rest of them, I'm not scared of. But something about LinkedIn that puts a little added pressure on you, because everybody seems to have a tie and a suit on.
Mm-hmm.
And all that good stuff.
They're trying to be professional. Oh,
yeah,
that's Shelly.
That's Shelly.
Why I say okay? Well, hey, maybe.
Well, she said it was her sons.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Twitch that's really a gaming platform, but they added the whole podcasting to it, so that's why we get a lot of kids on there and people overseas. That's gamers. Yeah.
Oh, and that's why I see a lot of people going on there, because you can play all the music on there. From what I heard, there are DJs who go on Twitch and just go ham. And they ain't got to worry about, because we got shut down. Yeah, was it yesterday we got shut down?
Yeah, we played too much of some clips yesterday. Yeah,
like the Anthony Hamilton music song.
We did it 2 days in a row. They didn't say nothing Wednesday, but we played a couple of clips yesterday, and YouTube said, "Nah, son, violation."
Y'all really gonna catch feelings off of Anthony Hamilton music? Really? That's what we're gonna do. All right, whatever. Okay, I can't. There's no way to keep up. Like when I couldn't get to my Instagram live for a little while, and they just said it was because of a connection, but it was a few days. All right, what else we got? What else? Well, Jay Black, how was your night? Last night,
Thursday, yesterday. I watched Kanye last night. You got the Netflix. It's this Netflix special on Kanye.
Seen that.
It's the trilogy. So that was the first episode. It was only an hour and a half, but I swear it left me wanting more. Kanye is a genius. Kanye, I'm rooting for you. You want to watch it. It's videos of him. It's like basically a documentary from the beginning, before he got signed. When everybody shut him down and through the process before he got signed with Dame, giving him the contract, him and his mom, all the old videos, his mom rhyming, his freestyling, his lyrics, and she was a major supporter and through the ranks, and it was dope. So you really got to watch it. Isn't it? You're going to enjoy it. It ain't even just about hating Kanye or liking Kanye. It's about a black man trying to get on and believing in himself and making it happen. Like I really vibe with it. Really
I've never not once said that Kanye's not a genius. Never not one. I've sat up here and support. I've told y'all that Kanye's producer catalog and his own rap catalog is greater than Jay-Z's on what he's done.
You did say that.
I've said this a million
I
times.
disagree with that part, but I get what you're
that
going
dude
with.
has created people's No, I know you disagree, but that dude has created other people's catalogs. That's like I gave birth to you. That's like I'm the one who bought your house that you're stunting in right now. Like in all the
Jay
houses.
was popping before H to the Izzo, but I get what you're saying for some other artists. Like, yeah, you know,
listen to that Black album that you rock, and I know you love that.
But
Black
he didn't
album.
give birth to Jay-Z. And he pays Jay-Z a lot of love.
Listen to that Black album that you love.
Stacey Mitchell.
Listen to that Black album. And I said this all the time. If Jay-Z and Kanye did a versus, if Jay-Z wasn't allowed to do songs that Kanye produced, it would be a short ass versus.
But it was dope. Netflix. I'm not gonna get into the Jay-Z Kanye scenario.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, he gives it up.
Don't get on here talking about what a genius he is.
No, he is. Kanye
when I was saying this, I was saying this months ago about Kanye being brilliant.
No, but it's good to see the young Kanye go through that process and how people was ishing on him, and he was like, "No, I'm believing in me." I didn't know the whole producer rapper thing, and I wanted to give him a deal, and he was only good for production. Like it was good to see he's betting on himself.
Because your man ignored him in real life. Your man ignored him. Jay-Z ignored him.
But it was a moment where he asked his mom, "You think I'm too arrogant at times?" Like it was like a real moment. Like, and she's like, "No, you need to be confident. You need to exude that. You know, you're a star. Don't let nobody issue on you." Basically, so it's inspiring for some. I think it was amazing. Watch it. Netflix.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. But you know who should really be mad?
Who?
Dame
Dash. Why?
Because Jay-Z shitted on Kanye and was ignoring him the entire time, and Dame had the confidence in him and said, "You can do this. Like you can do this." But still, to this, I mean, Kanye acknowledges Dame Dash. He does, but he doesn't acknowledge him the way he acknowledges Jay. And Dame was the one who really took the chance. It was like, dog, don't. And I never forget Kanye said, he said, "Yo, this first album, you can't catch a brick. Because if you catch a brick, back then, if you caught a brick, there was no coming back. You had one shot at it, and that was it." But I'm gonna watch it.
He talks about that, and they show it. Like they even him signing the contract with Rockefeller. He talks about, you know, not being able to fail, and his support system. He's, you know, getting all the verses from people. Show how Scarface ished on him, didn't want to get on Jesus Walks or Family Business, and you know, it's dope to really watch it and see like, wow, I didn't even know Cats was recording like that every step of the way back then. But yeah, I wasn't literally inspired the fact that he believed in himself and not taking no for an answer. Like, no, you're not. I'm going to do this. Like, that's
think about
amazing.
it. Kanye West got Stevie Wonder amount of hits. And what he's doing with his clothing line is even crazier than what he did with his music. I mean, that in itself is absolutely ridiculous. Like what he's doing with his clothing line and what he did with Yeezys. I'm not a big Yeezy fan, but what he's done with them is almost bigger than his hip hop career.
But he kept saying it. I see more for me. I see more. So the fashion was another spot. And then you see how the guy from Raucous Records bigged him up. Like, no, you are it. And I see you doing more. You're a good balance, but like it's inspiring, dude. Just people don't give up on your dreams out there. Like that was a major takeaway. Watch that Netflix thing with Kanye and watch you love it. You're gonna love it.
Good morning. Mark's on his way to New Orleans.
What up, Mark?
What's
New
going
Orleans.
On with that? All right.
New Orleans.
He's on his way to New Orleans.
New Orleans.
What up, Jay Black? 501.
Friday. Cats is traveling on a Friday. Now I don't know what it's looking like in Texas. I know it is. The weather is horrible out here on the East Coast with a bunch of rain and a bunch of nastiness. And I'm just happy my kids didn't have to go to school today. So my daughter.
Oh, it's a half a day, President's Day, right?
No, they ain't have to go to school. They shut it down. It was like everybody home right now. Everybody.
While my wife was mad, my son came home yesterday. They teach him about Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. They did nothing on Black History. This is the 18th. And he know everything about every person other than somebody Black. She was pissed yesterday. I mean, when I thought of President's Day, I thought of that. But
they're excused, but we're coming to Obama soon. Don't worry, we'll be there. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, everybody on IG Live.
Jeanette, Rochelle.
Jeanette, what's going on? All y'all enjoying Friday. Oh, you ain't even play the dance. You didn't play the dance.
I didn't
What we
play the
doing?
dance.
It's
I missed
Friday. When you say you love me, it doesn't matter.
Erica, good morning, Erica.
Good morning. Good morning.
How was your night, Shawnee? How's everything going on with you?
It was bittersweet because the girls had their last game. Well, one girl played. One girl had to sit next to me because she's on restriction, and as you see, I have to get up a lot because they're losing their freaking minds right now. But the last game was last night. Well, they lost, but it was a really good game. It was a really good game. So they don't advance to the district tournament. Carly really has improved over the season, so I'm proud of her. And they're on another team though. So this weekend we got.
Wait, they're on two different basketball teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on the one at the school. And
like
the reason the game
team?
was so good last night is because there's one dad there that coaches the junior high school somewhere else. He was coaching from the sideline, and then there was another person coaching from the sideline too, telling the girls what to do because
Well, that couldn't have been that. That has to be some drama when.
It wasn't.
Oh, they worked together. They were cool.
Yeah, they were sitting in different spots, but they because like I said, they coach doesn't. She doesn't.
She's limited. She's limited. Is that like
I
as
guess
a coach?
That's a way to say it. But yeah, so they were telling them because the girls had a fight. Like it got serious. It was intense.
So there's another. So there's another coach, without you saying, that seems to be more open-minded to different plays and has a different philosophy. Is that what it is?
No, this is one of the girls' dads on the team. He's a coach for another junior high school.
So does he feel? Do you feel like he knows more?
Yeah, the two that were coaching the girls from the stands,
right,
did a lot better, and the girls listened and they were receptive to what both people were saying, and they did what they were telling them to do, and so it made because the team they were playing was they had like 12 girls on our team. We only had 7 girls on the bench because my baby girl got in trouble, so she had to sit right next to me. And then the oldest got to play, and so it was 6 other girls, so it was stressful for them. But this team, they played this team before. That team beat them by I think 3 points. But it was different. It was real different. But yesterday, it got really good. It was a game. It was a game. Those 6-minute quarters were like 20 minutes.
But that is pretty. As a parent, that's pretty intense. That you got one of your daughters who can't play, but you brought her to the game anyway to see what she's not taking part in. Am I correct?
Yeah, she got to sit right by me. Yeah. You got to sit right by me. She couldn't go sit with her friend. No, you got to sit right by me. So we got
to make sure she know the plays and be supportive.
I'm mad at that.
She was a supportive teammate. She was cheering her team on. She didn't sit there mad. And then we stayed and watched the boys too.
So is her career like? So is the season over, or what do we got next with the girls in the basketball? Is it over?
For school, the season is over, but their other team, their AAU team, it starts Saturday. So they start playing in games. Well, the tournament is Saturday. Now they ain't both playing. Just the Carly playing. The baby girl got pulled from everything. Like I'm pulling her off the track team this season.
Damn.
Yeah,
pulling off the track.
Both track teams. Yeah. And
the
other one is on her way to getting pulled too. Because I called that coach. I said she got 6 days to get it together. If she don't get it together, she's not training. She's not gonna do nothing this season.
Damn.
And I mean that.
On track though.
Mm-hmm. Wow! You got to stand. You got to put on.
If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything.
Yeah. If there ain't no consequences, there's gonna be a whole bunch of things happening. If there's no official consequences that you stick by. So, that's on them. They know they did something wrong.
Yeah, they know. They gotta be right with me. Like if I gotta work and I don't have nobody to watch them, or I can't take, guess what? They got to come to work with me and sit right there. until I get off without a phone.
And I don't want to get into the whole thing, but was this all started with that whole leaving when a ride was coming to get them?
It started before that. So they got their phones taken away from them because when I would go to work and I come back home, my house would be in a mess. And I'm like, what y'all doing? You know, I work and I pay everything. Every time I get paid, I pay y'all. And y'all can't clean up behind yourself. Y'all on my stove. I don't want you on the stove, but I'm not. You know, they just doing what they want to do.
Right.
So I said, okay, y'all can't stay at home by yourself no more. So they have to go somewhere. And I took the phones because they were on the phones. That was the thing. I came home on my lunch break one day, and they didn't know I was coming. And so I'm like, okay, these phones are a problem. You can't get your stuff done because you on the phone. And then her walking away, yeah, that caused a problem. And then it's some other stuff too, attitudes and.
You said you paid them though, like they got a salary. You talking about like just allowance, right? When you say you,
every time I get paid, they get paid. I always put something, so they have money. But like today, the baby in here, you gonna get? No, I'm not putting nothing on there because you stole my iPad last night, and you're not supposed to have electronics. Because
this is why I like the payment thing. Because I know Jay got a problem with, but this is why I like the payment.
I'm just processing.
No, because I get it. Because like things that I had to do around my house, I didn't get paid for. But this is why I like the payment thing, because it can be taken away. And like anything else, when you get somebody used to something, let's even say it's like $25 a week, and they used to that $25 a week. As much as you think you getting over on mom or dad, when mom or dad takes it back, now it hurts because now you was counting on the whole thing. Like I almost pimped you into believing like this is all good. Yeah. You keep doing it. Now I take it back, and now there's nothing there. So I get it. I understand. Now I don't give my kids allowance, but I do send them cash apps, so I can't even front like I don't.
Like she said every pay time she gets paid, she pay the kids, and that's what I'm thinking.
Every time I get paid, they get paid. So that's why my expectations of them are so high. Like the teachers don't understand. Well, why they have to make 97? Because I get them 100%. I don't do 97%.
You get paid. You're an employee. You have to meet standards.
So they can't do 97. They don't do nothing. My kids are not stressed. They ain't couch to couch. They not experiencing what other kids are experiencing. They have no stress.
Most parents tell their kids your payment is the food and roof over your head. Food that you eat,
but roof over your head. Do you see the flaw in that?
Make sure the dishes is done, the trash is out, your room is clean, the floors is vacuumed. Don't let me get on them baseboards.
But do you understand? Even with that, you can't take away the room and board. What you gonna do? They still gonna live in the house no matter what they do. You still gonna feed them no matter what they do. Come on, we're playing chess, not checkers here, Jay Black. I'm giving you something that I can take back. What you gonna do?
Learn how to play chess. So
well, you left your house when you were 17, dog. So
now I put them out when they were younger. They loved their room the way I had it decorated. So when they wouldn't clean it, I would evict them. They had to go sleep in the living room. They couldn't go in their room.
It's the real world. Like that's the world they walking into. The real world is not somebody feeds you and somebody gives you a roof. The real world is you get paid and you get taxed on it.
You get paid for services rendered.
And services rendered is you got to keep a 97.
You got to keep a 97.
You got to keep a 97, and you got to keep up with your track stuff, and you got to keep up. Like I love it that Monty just got her first tax refund. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. She got a little, 300 something. I shouldn't say little because that's not little. It's like a $300 tax refund, and she got it. She's like, oh wow. I said, yep. You do what you do, and you work it. Lady Q, you are so full of it. None of your kids did chores.
They did. My kids did chores. I was the boss.
Lady Q, you know what? Lady Q, Lady Q posted something. She posted something yesterday or the other day that I thought was very interesting on TikTok.
What did she
post? I got it. Let me show you.
I'm trying to get more followers, and I heard if you show a little ass on here, it'll work. So here it goes.
I did not see that. Oh no,
I'm sitting there watching TV, and she called me. And I'm like, I'm just recording. I'm like,
I did not see that.
She's an idiot.
That was too funny.
All right, Shorty, can you get on IG now?
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
All right, you're almost
there. I got to get his 16-year-old girl.
Actually, I got that. I got that on YouTube.
Ashley, good morning, good people. Tam. What is that? King
Kelly. Queen. Afro Queen. Kelly.
Oh, y'all shouting each other out like y'all.
They got nicknames.
Look at y'all, Lady Q. Look at y'all. Look at y'all think y'all formed this community. We formed this goddamn community. No, I'm playing. That's dope. That's dope. I love it.
Thought the ass was funny. She called me.
No, that's hilarious. I didn't. You know what's funny? I saw that and I don't have patience to watch what's going on. So I was scrolling. I really don't. Like Instagram has made me so. Dog, I have no patience. Like I literally was scrolling, and I saw it. I said, "Oh, okay, this is a TikTok. I can't." I kept
didn't
going.
Even like it. I didn't even like it. I was like,
I think I may have liked it, but I think I liked it without even like looking at. Like if I see y'all do something, I just like it, you know. But yeah, I didn't even. That is hilarious. I got show.
I watched it like 100 times. I was like, damn, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You minding my business watching TV and she called you. Yeah, I just and like, what's up? I'm trying to see what's up.
That is funny.
She said, if I show a little ass, I get more followers.
Oh my god!
Then she put J Black.
Here we go.
That is funny for real. Morning TOL family. Now I'm mad that I gotta get more patience because I would have had comments on that. I would at least tag J Black. I would at least like.
Yeah, look.
I'm trying to get more followers, and I heard if you show a little ass on here, it'll work. So here it goes.
I'm like, what? She got the phone? What the fuck? She's an idiot.
Yo, this old couple already watching Family Feud. I can see there had to be Family Feud and Jeopardy on.
Wheel of Fortune. Who's watching Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, so I thought she was watching Wheel of Fortune, but she's sitting there.
Can I buy a vow? Jesus. Oh my God. Jay almost got me to watch Wheel of Fortune. It was on. What time does it come on? What time is it?
7:30 East Coast.
So the NBA pregame comes on around 7:30, right? So I'm flicking and I see it. And you almost got me. I was almost about to be like, let me just see. Because I know what Wheel of Fortune is about.
Test your skills.
I used to be pretty good at Wheel of Fortune. Like Jeopardy, I suck at, but I almost checked it out and was like, let me see. It just, you know what bothers me? It's not, and this is really bad. Pat Sajak and Vanna White, like I just remember him being so like perky, and now it's like Pat Sajak look like that. He's fragile now. Like he's not even like, you know, not the same. Vanna White needs to be upgraded.
Like 40 years or whatever.
He said Vanna White needs to be upgraded.
Yeah. No, Vanna White needs to be upgraded.
No,
she get paid like a lot of money just to
she gets paid
push them darn buttons.
Do you know, I wish one of my daughters would get that job. That is amazing, though. Like we're talking about, she's probably worth $40 million just turning letters.
Now she ain't got
and
time.
She don't even turn them. She just push
the button now.
Trendsetter, what up? Yeah, just pushing it.
All right. So let's set up the rest of the show. We got the funeral director. He's going to talk to us about how they pipped the game off of dead people.
I don't think he's going to talk about that, but it's about the funeral director's life and I guess any questions.
And if I want to get burnt up, what's that called, Shawnee? If I just
cremation.
If I want cremation, what's the difference in price? If I just want the cremation, I don't want the whole casket and stuff like that. I just want the urn and everything like that.
And why they take advantage of people in them key moments of their life when they don't have money? Why do they still push the expensive caskets? That's
what I said was mean. You went even harder. Like, dog, you went harder on the dude. Like, goodness God.
I'm curious because I'm curious. But
and what else? What else do we have? What else we got? We got some other disturbing stuff that's gonna make everybody mad.
It was a 16-year-old girl in California that the popo had gripped up. I guess she was on a little scooter. And they said she was an unlicensed vehicle, the little dirt bike things, and apparently she got gripped up, and it's got a lawyer now, and it's she tried to bite the cop. The cop slung her to the ground first, and I guess in defense she went to go bite him. She didn't get to bite him, but he choked her up. But actually we got a little clip, and I saw that going viral.
You want to show the clip now?
We might as well jump right into it.
Because I'm about to take a black and mild break, though. I'm being structured today. I don't know about y'all. I ain't doing these 3 hours in a row. God damn it! Go ahead. Play.
we can take a break and come back because also there was Lisa Ray. We wanted to talk about Lisa Ray as well.
Yes, Lisa Ray. I need to know what this Lisa Ray thing is when we come back. First things first, because the 16-year-old is gonna piss us off, or I may piss y'all off.
By the way, we'll see.
Yeah, I may not. But let's do Lisa Ray when we come back. It's a 3-minute break, a quick 3-minute break. I'm gonna do a black and mild. I got the C4, so I got energy. We can't talk for 3 straight hours. Like we just need to break it up a little bit. You on IG Live, we're gonna have Shawnee Scott on here. Hopefully, Sexy Mo will get on here soon. You good, Jay? Because I see you look.
I'm good. I was trying to find one of these since Shawnee dipped on us. All right.
I'll play it. Figuring something out. All right, Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. Press a button. Just press.
Hey, this is Shawn, the Voice Robinson. I love tuning in to Mike Shawn and the Takeover Legends. These guys are phenomenal, super funny. It starts my day. I'm having my coffee, but they're so funny. I got to bring the popcorn out. Popcorn and coffee time with Mike Shawn and the Takeover Legends.
What up, y'all? It's Michael Shawn from Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. And just in case you missed the show, check this out. How crowded is your DM on Instagram? Like, how many athletes?
And do you check them?
Are in your DM. Like, I know it's got to be like a traffic jam in your DM right now. And I know they got to be here with no disrespect intended, but.
No, my stuff's dry.
No.
No way.
You can say everything except my stuff is dry.
No
you
way.
Can say whatever you want.
Let me say my DMs. I will tell you this, though. Whoever does try to step, it would have to be very strong. You have to have a lot of confidence to come into this circle.
Search Media Room 360 on all streaming platforms. Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. Yeah. What up, y'all? It's Michael Shawn, and I know you want to be a podcaster. You want a successful podcast. You want to give your views and opinions, but you just don't know how to do it correctly. That's why you got to hit up ShawneeScott.com. You want to be on radio, and you want to know how to build your radio career. ShawneeScott.com. She's done all of this. I've worked alongside her for years, and I will tell you the information that she can give you is on a value level that I can't even put a price on it. All you have to do is go to ShawneeScott.com. Your future, right now. That's it. Michael Shawn. Yeah.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top.
Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts.
Tap in.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top. Yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in.
I'm going to tap in for sure.
Tap in.
Tap in. It's Friday. Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. Jay Black. Shawnee somewhere. I grabbed that
here.
C4. Yeah. My man Shawn Robinson grabbed the C4.
And he said, great commercial because he's in it. We got to do some more. Anybody want to get down? We need to get some clips from our supporters so we can do a little bit of, put them on. I like that, Shawnee.
C4s are delicious.
Yeah, we need some people.
And shout out to Shawn Robinson. Yeah, great commercial. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to this Lisa Ray thing. What did Lisa Ray do? What is she talking about?
Lisa Ray was she was sharing. It was an interview about a week or so ago, and it came out in the interview that she may have had a little violent, little thug life, diamond from Players Club, real life past.
Okay.
From shooting people or whatever. It's like, what?
No, get out of here. No, for real. No.
And it's always been through the years, people saying that I'm so real, I'm so down to earth, but I come with experience. For me to be the age that I am, I have done an awful lot. I really have. And things that I could keep in the closet, but for what? Because I'm not embarrassed about it because it helped me become who I am now. It's things people don't even know that I've done. I talk the way I talk because I can.
What some of the things that you done that people don't know?
Of course I knew that you were going to ask me that. I should have been ready.
Like just name 3 tricky shit that you've done.
I've been to jail.
Jail for what?
A whole bunch of all kind of shit.
You been to jail a couple times?
Yeah.
How many times you been there?
Shot somebody. I done pistol whip folks. I done had fights. I'm not the average pretty girl that's afraid to break your fingernail.
When you shoot somebody though, what did you shoot them for?
It could be disrespect. It could be to get them off of you.
How many
it can be to keep them out there, girl.
Don't.
What? All right, everybody get on. Everybody get on. Can you get on IG Live, y'all? Because this, Jesus, like, what is the whole? What? So, okay. Shawn said that's the young lady from TMZ. Yeah,
Raquel. Yeah, rack.
Yeah,
it's tricky.
But so what? So she shot people and she pistol whipped people and sometimes she shot them to get them off of her and but
thug life.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. All right, Lisa.
I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, you look at the more attractive females, you wouldn't think that they into that stuff, and that's what she's saying. Like, she's not the average pretty girl. It's like,
but what is the?
Why do you think that pretty girls are not into that? That don't.
Yeah, like
what do you mean? How do you have to look?
Right, let me take that back. Let me just scratch with how I said that.
Let's scratch it back.
Because since y'all gonna act like y'all know what I'm talking about, when you look at a girl,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Most females, you don't look at them as thug life. You don't, because it's like, wait, what are we doing? So I wouldn't have never pegged Lisa Ray for pistol whipping people and shooting cats. Like I just didn't see that. I would have never guessed that. Did you, Shani? Did you think Lisa Ray was pistol whipping people?
I thought
she was good. I thought she was good after I met her in person. She wasn't the as what most people think of. Woman that looks a certain way, a beautiful woman, a light-skinned woman with long hair.
Nobody said light-skinned.
You think that I'm not talking about you. Now, hit dogs holler. So
Okay.
It sounds like you hollering over there. But most people think they're so classy and just polite and nice. I met the bitch in person and she good.
I mean, the day we interviewed her multiple times.
She 3 times. She checked.
She was about that I think I called her the wrong name. I didn't call her the wrong name. It was something she wanted me to say.
She wanted her full name, Lisa Ray, and we kept saying Lisa.
Yeah. It was like Lisa Ray, and I was
and
like,
it was after the second time is when she got elevated and angry. Like I saw it, and I still screwed up one more time, and I just had to
damn, your name is Lisa, but
my bad.
Yeah, she's the bitch. She's a bitch.
No, she just wanted her name to be respected.
She's a bitch.
Yeah, I ain't.
She from Chicago.
I mean, but everybody says she, people from this, people from that, and all that other stuff.
I'm from Oak Cliff.
I just don't. Yeah, and
where's she from?
Oh, her pops was a big deal. So okay, because if her pops,
my family was a big deal. So what?
You know what she's saying. Like if her pop was into certain things and had a reputation, sometimes they don't fall too far. But I just didn't see her.
But is this really just clickbait? Like, you do an interview on a podcast and you say certain things because you just want views. And I'm not saying she didn't do them.
I don't believe her.
No, I believe that, listen, I don't think everybody's done everything they claim to do, but I think she's done about 80% of that stuff. And I think for her, that stereotype of what America says she looks like, that she was like anti the whole thing because people thought they could just get over on her on stuff like that. But I mean, shooting people and going to jail and all that, I don't know why
I believe she probably went to jail. I believe there was probably a gun involved. I do believe that, but I just don't believe it went down the way she's saying it, the way she's claiming that it went down.
Damn, Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray just said I was shooting people. I was pistol. Now to pistol whip somebody, I ain't never pistol whip somebody. That takes that takes some structure because you got to make sure you don't pull that trigger. Like you got to actually, I guess the lock got to be on. You pistol whipping somebody, that means blood's involved. Like shoo. Okay,
yeah,
Lisa.
Well, if you have the 2 safeties on, well, like my gun got 2 safeties, so it's the safety on the
bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang, bang. I need
got
to
the
see her
phone
criminal record. Somebody said they need proof. Somebody said they
We
need
don't
proof. They
believe
need a
you. You
criminal
need
record.
more people.
Damn,
Yeah.
Lisa. What happened? Just I don't know, man.
But disrespect. I laughed when she said disrespect.
No,
Mike,
the
I was like,
disrespect. Yeah, here goes
disrespect
disrespect.
can lead to it. It can lead to it.
All it leads is to go into jail. That's all it leads to go into jail. But God bless. Like, man, I thought that was gonna be more than that. I don't even know what to say with Lisa Ray at that point. Like,
I don't even know why we glorifying that. That's the part that got me. That was the part for me. It's like she like, yeah, I did it. You know what? I am not proud of some of the stuff that I've done. And on certain platforms, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I did.
But she's being transparent.
I think our explanation should have been, well, listen, everybody does what they want to do. Listen, do what you want to do. But I think I understand what Shawnee's saying. Like, when you put this out there, especially to these young folk, these young women that are watching, and you don't preface it by saying, like, I made a gang of mistakes. Not, oh, well, a lot of people don't know I'm down to do what I do because I look a certain type of way. No, I made a bunch of mistakes. And if you were defending yourself, then explain that you were defending yourself, that maybe there was a man that was doing something that he shouldn't have been doing to you and you fought back. But I think it does kind of glamorize. We just love, we love all this stuff, y'all. We do. Even we're talking about it.
50-year-old woman up here bragging about that. Sounds like
it's over. It's over at this point. Statute of limitations over. Kathy said somebody can come out like, yo, it was me she shot.
Yeah, facts. And they gonna have a book written. I was shot by Lisa Ray. Somebody will be coming out. Yeah, like that. I don't like opening that can of worms. And I got a funny feeling it wasn't just. There was probably a dude that because she was like, I had to fight somebody off. She is the Brat's sister. They gangster. No, the Brat ain't got nothing on Lisa Ray. Like the Brat is the rapper. I mean, the Lisa Ray's the rapper in this sibling thing. I mean, the Brat does Dish Network and TMZ and stuff like that. And Lisa Ray's still talking about
getting married. Coming up, 2/22/22.
She's
getting ready to get married.
Oh, her date is 2/22/22.
2/22/22.
2/22/22.
Does that mean something? Is that 2/2/2? Is that supposed to be symbolic? Oh, it's just 2/2/2.
I guess it's just because they got all twos. I'm like, dang, I want to do something on 2/22/22.
Just worry about.
Always remember it.
Just worry about 3/2. That's all y'all worry about. 0302. That's all you gotta worry about.
3/2.
What do you do for your birthday, Mike?
I don't even know. I just want to be remembered. I'm not Jay Black. 0302. In a matter of weeks is coming up. I don't care if y'all got balloons in your square. Y'all ain't gotta send me balloons. If y'all got balloons in your square, even if y'all got a little cupcake in your square, it'll be much appreciated. Like, I am not. Jay Black doesn't want anybody to remember his birthday. I don't want anybody to forget my birthday. March 2nd.
Like,
I expect every ovary on this show to be on this show, March. I don't care if it's just one balloon behind you. It don't even got to say happy birthday. It could just be a balloon just lingering behind you. Just one little balloon.
Say happy St. Patrick's Day, huh?
It can say happy St. Patrick's Day. It can say happy Easter. I don't give a damn. As long as the symbolism is that this is because it's Mike's March 2nd birthday, Pisces. Damn it. Been a rough year out this bitch.
That was for you, Tam.
I'm outside the club too.
Oh, let me get you in the club.
And I guess you'll be coming up, Shawnee, in a couple of minutes, Mike. So
yeah, he popped in and he popped back out. I think he was just checking.
Yep. So we got a funeral home director.
Already doing shady stuff. How he popping in and popping out? What we doing?
Listen, he was on another show on Medium. He was on in the City, and I produced that show for her. But after the show, we were talking, and we were all talking, and he was working while he was on,
like embalming the body or something like that.
He was working on a body.
I couldn't work with dead body. I just can't. I know people.
I mean, and he was just, talking like, we didn't know what he was doing.
Do it. Good
It's
morning.
like,
Jackie.
oh yeah, I'm working on a body right now.
I wouldn't have a problem working with dead bodies.
You
like,
can't
honestly
work on a dead body. There's no way you built for working on a dead body.
Yeah, because they're dead. Like, there's nothing. You can't judge me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like, you're doing it wrong. You're dead. Like, what are you? Hey, Mo, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey, Mo.
Yes.
March 2nd is my birthday. Just want to let you know that.
I've known that for the past 20 years. Your birthday is one of the one that I remember.
Yeah,
okay,
March 2nd. Remember nobody else's birthday, but he want everybody to remember his birthday.
I honestly don't, and I know that's selfish of me, and I embrace my flaws as a person. I'm not good with birthdays. I'm not good. Like I forget. I love my dad. I forget my dad's birthday. I know it's in November. What? I honestly do. I'm really bad with numbers. When I get a block, it's over. I know my sister's birthday because it's New Year's Eve, so I'll never forget that. Every year I go through the same thing with Stacy. When they ask me the kids' birthdays for medical things, I literally have to I have to pause. I really have a mental block.
If you don't know your own child's birthday, Mike, stop.
I know the twins are September 1st. I know Amani's January 21st. But when you get me on the year, I start going back. That was a lot of blurriness.
You start having to use your fingers. You got to count. You be like,
I got to be like, Monty's 3 years older than so it has to be 2000. Yeah. Oh, nice earrings. Yeah.
Thank you. It's my favorite.
So, but yeah. So, Mo, can you work in the morgue? Could you work on dead bodies, Mo? We got a funeral director coming up.
So full transparency. One, I used to date one.
Dead body.
Funeral home owner and director. And last year, I honored my grandmother by helping to do her hair post-mortem.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It was probably one of the hardest. I had to really detach myself from the actual. Yeah, but you know what? I made a promise. She told me if I let them bury her in gray hair, she was gonna come back and haunt me. So I had to make sure that she was platinum blonde, and it was an experience. It was definitely an experience.
That's tough, but that is a beautiful thing to do when you give a promise like that to make that happen at the end. Jay was like, "Can I work with dead bodies?" Jay hasn't seen the people I had sex with. All right, listen. There's a lot of dead bodies.
But you know what? Shout out to the funeral home directors, Mike, because they really honor the good ones. They really honor like the process. Like they take care of your loved ones while they're there.
Do they really?
Yes.
Or they for that money grab.
Yes, they talk about they talk about how, they called, well, at least mine did, called and said, I just want to let you know mom is here resting with us. She's in good hands. The words that they use are very, very reassuring.
Mom is here resting with us.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't have said that. I'd been like, we got your mama body.
How long when you
down, that's like a teaching. That's like they have to know some stuff because I don't think I'd be good at that.
That's some therapeutic stuff.
It really is, because the whole process, like so if your loved one dies in a hospital, of course, like with COVID, they had a lot of people passing away. You can't go, so you have to sign papers and stuff to have the body released actually to them, and they'll go and take care of everything from there. So it's definitely a caring process. It has to be in terms of your communication with the family. And my hats go off, because you get all kinds of craziness. Folks that don't got no money and sign them papers, and then they got your loved one, and then it's just like, okay, so who paying?
Where do they get their profit? I'm about to say, where do they get their profit for? So their profit is they get the caskets at cost. I'm assuming I was trying to see their overhead and where.
So I purchased my own casket because it was much cheaper than what the funeral home was offering. However, there's levels to this, and I got a big teaching on the differences between caskets. I thought a casket was a casket.
Yeah.
You got different gauges. You got the weight, the swing bar, it's all kinds of stuff going on.
And if it comes with AC and stuff like that, no, I'm just saying, if the casket comes with Wi-Fi and you can all use a hotspot during the funeral. I always want to ask y'all, how long, when you guys go to your funerals, how long does the funeral last? Like, how long? Because
I've been to a pastor's, and it lasted from 8:00 in the morning until 5:00 in the afternoon.
So it's just one day.
It depends on the celebration that the family plans. It depends it depends. And they had all kinds of churches and different pastors from everywhere coming. It was a celebration, a day of celebration. Now, that depends on money too, because you got to pay for the viewing. then you gotta, it 1 hour or 2 hours. Then if it's gonna be another day, you gotta, then the cemetery, you gotta be there by a certain time, or you get charged extra. It's a whole
process, and then the reception.
It's a fee sheet. It's a fee.
Yeah, but I want to know how long the actual body is in the casket that people get to see the person. How long do y'all do it?
The viewing.
So,
how long?
All right,
do
say
it?
you have a viewing for one day, right? In the same day. In the morning, your wake is at from 10 to 12, right? That's 2 hours. Then you have your funeral service maybe for another 2 hours. That's 4 hours, and then go into the cemetery.
See, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand what Puerto Ricans do, and this is what I've never understood. This shit lasts like 3 or 4 days, dog. Like, yes, the
in
viewing.
the olden times, so did African American funerals. They used to put them in the living room, right, Shawnee? Down south, put them right in the living room.
It's like they headlining Caroline's Comedy Club. It's like 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. Like, dog, my uncles, when they passed away, literally it was a whole. Like, y'all not gonna get this, but the World Series was on, right? The Mets were playing the Boston Red Sox in the World Series. The funeral lasted from game 3 to game 7. Do you know how long that is for a funeral? We went every day. Like, it was like, I didn't feel like my uncles were even dead. I felt like they were still alive because they looked nice. Everybody was good. But I was like,
so you paying for that room and board, I'm assuming.
Yeah, my grandfather paid for that. Yeah, God bless.
Yeah, you do. You have to pay for storage of the body too. Yeah, every day it's a fee.
They potentially getting they trying to milk every dollar out, I don't know.
Think about it, Jay Black. If you in a hospital, right? You gotta pay for them to keep your loved one up. It's the same thing when they're at the funeral home. They actually have to do stuff to make that body, to preserve that body and make that body look good. So by the time it get to you, that's your grandpa, your papa, your auntie. You gotta, it's
Jeanette said 5 hours. That ain't nothing. I'm telling you. I'm talking about for 3 or 4 days. We was going in there saying what's up. Like I really didn't think my uncle was dead.
That's traditional.
I was like Mingo, what's up? Like I'm back.
That's a tradition. That's traditional, and that goes back to just our ancestors and how they funeralize and mourn their loved ones. Yeah.
And then in some religions, you got a certain amount of time to have somebody buried. So I wonder if they got.
I like those religions.
Islamic.
The one that it's got to happen fast. Like it's got to happen before the sun sets or something. I like that.
That's Islamic. You have to bury the body within a certain amount of days, and then also they don't embalm. So that's another thing to it.
How about the Jewish religion? Don't they have to have them done by a certain time? Like I really like the fact that we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get through this, and we're not gonna have this long thing of. And this is not for everybody. I'm not saying this. Everybody does this, but we're not gonna have this long of people trying to out-sad people at funerals.
Ooh, say that again. Out-sad.
I'm not trying to hear y'all trying to out-sad the mom, the dad.
She crying. You crying harder than the mama and the daddy, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, like I knew I was around. Like especially when somebody passes away, that you were around them all the time. And you know who they really messed with and who really called while they were sick or who really stopped by. Did anybody see the clip on Facebook? The family check bounced. Wow. On the funeral director threw the body. I did see that.
That's crazy.
I didn't see
that.
But
they can get in trouble. They can get in trouble too with their license for doing that because that's the improper discarding of a body. Oh
traumatic. All because of the dollars. The money was funny, and now
but you gotta know you can't.
Well, it's a business, Jay. It's a business. I'm not saying throw the body out. Now that's a little.
The body gotta go, y'all.
Take me to court like everyone else would if it was a bounce check.
No, but then you get the services.
Well, who you suing? And who you suing, Jay Black?
Suit whoever signed the contract initially that you went to for the services. Like somebody got to be held accountable. You don't disrespect somebody's family.
No, you definitely you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that.
They gotta go.
But I have been to on my way to go to a family member's funeral, and they had to postpone it. Now, I ain't tell everybody else why they had to postpone it, but they postponed it because that money was funny. That money was funny. It was like a party.
When you 3 months behind on your car note, what happens? They come get that car, don't they? Don't play.
Well, make sure that money is clear from the door. Something got to be done, and you got to be more open.
Well, if you have life insurance, because Jay Black, you have life insurance, right?
And they wait for the life insurance. Some people wait for that money.
Well, no, what they do is they just sign that paper over. So it's something called decent burial. So a certain percentage of your life insurance, once that hit, it goes directly to the funeral home. It's kind of like a guarantee.
Bam.
And Shawnee, before you talked about funerals that people have like people on motorcycles and they like people with lawn. So if you got some of those clips, I think our guest is here. So that always interests me.
My cousin who just passed away a few weeks, they did a processional with all of the big rig trucks, and they went past his house honking their horn. Depending on what organization you're in, they do things like that during the processional. And it's really nice.
Which is nice. And the only thing I always say about funerals is this is the thing that really bothers me. This irritates me. Like I always say, it burns my soul with this one. When they tell you this is a celebration, right? This is a celebration. But then they do the saddest shit possible. Like they sing the saddest songs, and it's like Amazing Grace gets sung too many damn times.
Blessed assurance. Blessed assurance.
Yes. And you're like, wait, I thought it was a celebration.
I'm going up yonder. I'm going up yonder. Now that's when you're gonna hear some wailing.
I've had some good days.
What do you think I'm gonna do with that? If you want me to be happy, play Rob bass. It takes two to make a thing go right. Like, do something. It takes two to make it outside. Like, do something happy.
But if you're from Louisiana or New Orleans, they have second line band.
Second line band, yeah.
And they, I just saw a clip on TikTok where they was bouncing a girl, bouncing the casket. Oh yeah, they was bouncing the casket and second line, and
that's fun. See, I'm not mad at that. Like that's that's fun. I just think the sadness, and then when you do the procession to the act, this is why I'm not good at burials, and that's why I stopped going to burials. So y'all, like, God forbid anything happens, I'm not going to the burial. I'm not good at burials, right? I'm just not. It's just too. It's too permanent. It's too
much. Yeah.
I understand. I can't even do it. But then we go to top it off. Before you go to the burial, then the procession goes to like specific spots that person was at or where they lived.
Yes.
And you like, what the fuck are we doing now? Like, we're really gonna go to where he grew up, and this is where he played basketball, and then we gonna stop by the house, and there's gonna be a wreath that's gonna be there. I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's kind of like a farewell. It's kind of like allowing the body to say, goodbye. I know for my grandmothers, we went past the house. They opened up the hearse doors. I never seen this done before. Opened up the hearse doors. They turned to the house, said something, bowed, and threw rose petals all the way up to her doorstep.
I'm crying right now. I'm about to cry now.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on? It was nice and sentimental. I wish I would have caught all of it on video. But that's the first time I ever seen that. And so I was like, okay, that's different. That's a nice goodbye.
And if you are stressed, this is another pet peeve of mine at funerals. And we've all been through it. We love our families, and we all got our sides of our families that will irritate us to no end of the shit they do. If you are so stressed to be in that first limo,
that's
the one to get all the love. They want to ride
Listen, I paid an extra $600 for a second limo for that very reason. What you just said.
Oh my!
For an hour ride for a less than 5-minute ride from the house to the church, and then a 15-minute ride from the church to the doggone cemetery. That's $1,200.
That is a lot of money, and I'm sitting there going, "What are we trying to prove, y'all?" It's almost like there's a class system in the limo. It's like, well, we were really
in the
close.
limo because we was close, and we was close, and I was closer, and well, what about so and so husband? What about so and so girlfriend?
Oh my
God!
But girlfriends don't get in the first limo.
A couple samples I saw. We can bring them in now. But yeah, these are funerals.
Well, let's introduce them.
That's amazing.
Meaning these are some people that I don't know if he can do this, but I don't know if I will go to a funeral when I saw this and know that this is your loved one, and I guess they doing what they love to do, and that's how funeral homes can have them set up. And
y'all can't do that for me because y'all ain't gonna be able to bring no kids to my funeral if you put what I like.
We're gonna have you set up with it's gonna be an improv banner or Caroline's banner in the background.
Ain't gonna have nothing to do with jokes
on stage, and we're gonna have you like this.
No, you ain't gonna have me like that. You gonna have me in a green room in my prime. What?
All right, Shawn, you can bring him in.
Okay, all the way from St. Louis, the funeral boss. I just met him a couple days ago.
The funeral boss.
Oh, what was that?
What, the funeral boss got intro music or
He
something?
got
I
an
heard some
intro,
intro.
Ooh.
What
He got
happened?
He got an
Oh, the
intro.
funeral
Let me
boss?
find out he got an intro, and I don't.
Big Meech, Larry Hoover, Whip
But
it work.
let's clap it up for
Hallelujah.
Frank Savoy, funeral boss from St. Louis.
Good morning,
Yes.
Frank.
Hey, good morning.
Frank, how you
Good
doing?
morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Frank, are you on your phone or your laptop? What do you want?
I'm on the phone.
Okay.
We would like to get you on IG Live if you can, but if you're on the phone, that's fine. That's fine. First of all, I don't know how much you've heard of our conversation that we were talking about and the things that go on in a funeral that are so tough just when you went to family. So I can only imagine you're the person putting this together. It's your.
Well, let me say this first and foremost, because my introduction was pretty fucked up. I'm not from St. Louis. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. First and foremost. And the last name is Savory, not Savory.
Savory.
Okay.
Glad I ain't doing
I kept it safe. I called you Frank.
Yeah, I just want to call. I wanted to call you Frank too.
All right, here we're gonna take this over. We're gonna take this over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a funeral director coming to the show. He's from Kansas City, Missouri. His name is Frank Savory. He's going to give us some insight on funeral homes and the process and things that we go through. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to Frank. Frank, good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Frank.
KC in the building. Yes.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
So Frank, let's get to the drama. What happens at funerals? Because we've all just discussed the stuff and the shit that we've been through at funerals. What is the most? How can I put this? I don't know. What is the most fucked up thing you deal with at these funerals? Like, what's the one thing that you even go like, we really doing this?
Right now, what we're dealing with the most here at funerals is dodging motherfucking bullets.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
Man, listen, I had a funeral. I had a funeral 2 weeks ago. It was on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday evening. The funeral started at 5 o'clock. By 5:15, I had the body in the hearse, and I was back over in Missouri on my side because I had to shut the funeral down because somebody came in the sanctuary and was shooting preachers and everybody just ducking and stuff. It was crazy. The preacher was on the microphone, talking and bringing the family in and stuff like that. And when the shots rang off, he was like, "Oh, Jesus, Lord, help me!" It just dropped. I'm like, "Damn."
Yo, that is really disgusting.
Yeah, man. And it was actually the funeral that we were having was a 67-year-old man. He was an older gentleman. It was his grandson that was beefing with his daughter's baby daddy.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, man, we've been having that a lot. Going to the cemetery, we pulling up to the cemetery, cars are already there at the cemetery shooting at
And it's not about money. So it's not about the money that may have been left that the family's fighting over. This is
not
just
about money.
That's something completely different.
But is that ignorance? And Jay can get mad at me all you want. Rappers been saying this for like 15 years. Run up on your funeral and light you up. I can pull out like 12 songs where that was a hot verse. And the one Instagram post where the lady was sitting by the casket with the gun in her hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because either her son or her husband had beef in it. Like that is that's the disgusting thing to even think about.
If your loved one, like, first of all, family's bullshit. Your son, your brother, your cousin, they're into shit. You know what I mean? Common sense. You know this, but they try to play on our intelligence like they was. Everybody's an angel. Everybody's an angel. Nobody was into anything, and you can see the news post a person on there. He was a terrorist. He went around, shot up 60 houses or whatever, and they'll still make you out to believe that person was innocent and stuff like that. So my take on it is, if you know these things, why not have a private service where it's just immediate family,
right.
You know, you can have a guest list. I've had funerals where I buried some rappers. They actually had a guest list. I had KCPD there, and U.S. Marshals. Everybody was there. And if you wasn't on the list, you wasn't getting in the funeral. They were actually checking IDs and everything.
You know? I'm glad you brought that up because I just wrote that down in my will. I need a guest list because I ain't gonna lie. Nah,
Mike, I'm outside the club.
Yeah, do I get in the club?
No, y'all on. But I need a guest list. I need IDs checked because there's certain like we said, there should be a law that side chicks should not be allowed to go to the funeral. Like side chicks should not be allowed to put on a performance.
Amen.
When they knew they was a side chick every day of the week, except when this man passes away. Have you ever experienced that where the wife had to deal with another woman going in there and trying to outside her?
Always. Like we could, like me and my staff, we could sit back, like we could tell who's, like we could see the women go up to the casket and they just, snatching their wigs and stuff. So I'm like, yep, he was fucking her.
Big facts.
How do you make sure? Because we just had a story and Jay Black got very offended that there was one funeral home who didn't get their money and they tossed the body. They were like, "You're not gonna pay us. We tossing his body." Yeah. How do you? I don't know if you are down to toss bodies. I'm not sure if you're down for that. But how do you ensure that you get your money? Like, what precautions do you take?
First of all, that was for viewing purposes. I can't think of what's the young lady name down here in the black?
Sexy Mo.
Okay. Well, she spoke on it. It's against the law. And first of all, we're talking about what happens at funerals and stuff like that with these young people shooting and stuff like that. What family do you actually think that would allow somebody to take their loved one? First of all, he's by himself. Take a body out of a hearse and throw the body on top of a car without you being shot or something happening to you. You know what I mean? No black family's gonna tolerate that. That's just ultimate disrespect. And no funeral home, I don't believe would jeopardize their integrity on taking a body and throwing it out like that. Now, when we deal with stuff, deal with families or what have you, we just ask the families to be honest. If you broke, you broke. Now, if you broke, we're gonna try to figure out a way that we can still have some type of service for you, so we can service you. You know, we're not gonna turn you down because you don't have any money, but don't come in, acting like you have, $1 million, and because when you come in acting like you have $1 million, in my mind, shit, I'm gonna give you the $1 million treatment.
Right. You want the doves?
Yeah.
You got doves.
I'm gonna give all of that to you. But and then they, when it's time for it, they scratching their head and stuff like that. Our policy is, in most black funeral homes, is 72 hours. The payment is due 72 hours before the funeral is rendered or any services are rendered and all of that. So here it is. The body's already dressed in the casket and stuff like that. And I've had families, they come up there on that Friday, the funeral Saturday, they always come and see the body the day before what happens. We call it the ID view or whatever like that. So the family's up there and I walk in the office and stuff. They may be talking to some of the other staff or what have you. Ain't nobody says shit about money. So I'm walking around. I'm going to get me snacks and shit like that. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, shit, they ain't saying nothing to me. I ain't saying nothing. So they read the program and stuff like that. And they still sitting there. So my staff will call me. I walk back in my office. They call me. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Hey, such and such family said that they were here to view. I said, oh, shit, did they drop off any money? Oh, well, no, she said she was going to bring, okay, I was unaware of that. Okay, well, he's not dressed. But he may already be dressed, but, I'm just, he's not dressed. Right. And it's sad you have to do stuff like that in order to put fire up on the people to make them work. So then they calling everybody. I'm the bad guy. Oh, I'm up here at this funeral home, and these motherfuckers, they won't even let us see Pookie body. They talking about we gotta have the money. Motherfucker, you do this when you came and made arrangements. Like, this is not anything new. Like, on your contract, it says payment is due 72 hours before the funeral services are rendered. Now, all of a sudden, I'm the bad guy throughout this shit.
Yo, Frank, I'm gonna tell you right now, You need a reality show. Like you need cameras.
Didn't I say
following
that,
you.
Frank?
No,
I was like, we need to put him on Media Room 360.
You need a reality show where you. So at the end of the day, what if they just don't have the money and they just short you? What do you do with the body? Like what happens? Does everything get canceled or what?
Sad to say, man, it's just honestly, it just depends on the situation. If it's a funeral, and that's me for real. I just have I have a fucked up heart, so I don't believe in holding on to bodies. Like it just doesn't sit well with me. Like one of my biggest things with my families when they come to me is I don't want my family begging. Like I don't allow my families to go online and beg and shit like that because I'll let you have the funeral or have this versus you going online begging and shit like that. I feel like it's a bad reflection on me, even though it's not. I feel like it's a bad reflection on my funeral home. So I've had situations where I've said fucking and I just had the funeral. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm doing the funeral and then I'm cremating the person afterwards and not going to the cemetery. Now if it's a funeral with the burial, that's something different. Like I had a situation this past weekend, and the young lady, she's like, yeah, well, I'm like, listen, you have to understand where I'm coming from. You haven't gave me first. You ain't kissed my ass. You ain't did shit. Like you haven't did shit.
You ain't got no chicken, no cake, no nothing brought up to the funeral home.
Nothing. And you want me like you didn't go motherfucking lunch. You ain't did nothing. And you want me to go ahead and have his funeral. And I'm like, okay, well shit. Damn, do I never gave you niggas no money? Let's go and have a funeral. She came up with a few dollars. We had a funeral, but we not going to the cemetery. She's like, so why the fuck we not going to the cemetery? I said, this motherfucker's retarded. Why we not going? I don't know.
Because you ain't paid to go to the funeral. We ain't paid to go to the burial. Damn it! Oh wow, this is so funny.
You didn't. I'm not willing to pay a fucking cemetery and they sit back and they're cool and everything. Well, we'll come up with the cemetery money. I bet you will, but you got to pay the motherfucker that got to get your loved one to the cemetery.
Unless you're gonna take an Uber. Like,
yeah. Well, we gonna pay the cemetery. Okay, that's fine, but I still have to get your loved one to the cemetery. That's what you're not understanding. The cemetery didn't do shit. I'm the one that put in all the work. I'm the one that embalmed them. I'm the one that dressed them. I'm the one that casket. I'm the one that sat down and had to deal with y'all bullshit sitting here making funeral arrangements and everything. Y'all ate up. Y'all little badass kids ate up all my snacks and shit. You know?
Hilarious. Yo, I got two more questions.
Somebody sell some food stamps so I can restock my shit and all that. You know? Yeah.
I got two more questions. Then I'm just gonna open it up to everybody else. I got two more questions. Number one, what is the price if I just want to be in bond? Like, no. What's the thing when they burn me up? What's that thing?
Cremation.
Cremate. That's all I want because I don't want to deal with I don't want caskets.
His mama not gonna let that happen.
No, I'm gonna put it in my will. How much is that to
What's
get
the range? What's the range?
Give me the platinum package.
Well,
platinum cremation.
If you just want a direct cremation with no funeral at all, it's $694. That's it.
That's cheap.
That's not
Everyone else is $1,500 and up.
Yes,
I'm the cheapest, and I do that because I understand that we have a lot of people who just don't have it, and I'm not gonna beat it out of you if you don't have it. $694. It doesn't cost me all. It doesn't cost me all that. All that, but I still have an overhead. So. I take that and deal with what I have to deal with and all that stuff, and then boom.
So I want the cremation, but I also want the funeral.
So you want to have the body there, and then
no, burn me up. Don't have the body there. Just burn me up and put me in the urn and everything like that.
So we have a memorial service. I have a package for $17.95, and what that package includes is the cremation. It includes a big ugly picture of the person, whatever. Because they always find the worst picture for some odd reason.
Watch your mouth, Frank. Watch your mouth. I'm adorable. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
The cremation urn, your programs, your death certificates, and so forth.
And guest list. I want my guest list. I need to have a guest list. Even at that, I need the guest list.
Okay, well, we can do the guest list.
Okay, so that's not bad. See, I think that's more affordable. I think people should think about that. Now, the other thing, when y'all work on the bodies, I've heard a lot of crazy stories that go on with people working on the bodies. Like, who does the embalming and Was there ever a body that you were like, damn, she fine? Like, has that ever happened? Like, because I hear a lot of craziness going on with the. Nah, I'm just saying, if she fine, she fine.
I'm sure they look, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. I've done that more so with the photos when they brought in the photos. You know, I'm like, oh god damn, she was pretty or something like that.
Right.
But looking at the dead body now, that's a little creepy shit.
So you ain't never seen you ain't never seen like that's a fat ass like she's like in real life like
the photos, yeah, but I mean, fuck, it's like, fuck, how can you be turned on about something you like, well, fuck, she just dead, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, titties, she don't sag and shit. Like, I mean,
I got more to say, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm good. I know you done see the fat ass before and go call somebody and you ain't never gonna believe this shit. This chick is dead and still got a fat ass. No, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. Get it, Jay, Shawnee. Go ahead.
Have you ever gotten a picture of somebody's loved one and of course they come in and their body been sitting and they do the viewing and get mad at you because their face don't look like how the picture look? And what do you do about it if so?
I don't have those problems. Reason being is I pride myself. That's one of my things. A lot of people come to me because one of my biggest things, I don't use makeup. So what we do is in the process of embalming, we do all of that treatment and making sure everybody is up to par then. And another secret that I use, a lot of black people should take this. I use vitamin E oil on our skin. The skin, it keeps the skin moisturized. It keeps the skin feeling soft and as natural as possible, and it still gives them that glow, and so you have blood circulating through your body. So vitamin E oil is the secret that we use, and you can keep the body as natural as possible. Normally, if a body is just totally fucked up, it's because you have a lazy, trifling ass embalmer, and you know they're just all about a paycheck. They don't love what they do. Anytime you love something, you're gonna make sure it's done to the T. You know what I mean? So I don't have those problems at all.
So you don't use makeup at all. So what if a woman comes in and their family say, "I want her to be beat to the gods"?
Shit, you better find somebody that can beat it to the gods, or bring in the makeup.
Frank don't give a fuck. I love Frank. Frank don't give a fuck. You know, beat to the gods. Well, motherfucker, you better find somebody.
We got some questions before we release her to you, her body to you. I'm like, okay, what's the questions? We want to put makeup on her. I said, okay, you can do that. He said we could do that. Yeah, the other place said we couldn't. Okay, we want to dress her. I said, be my guest. He said we could do that. We could do that too. The other place said we couldn't. Okay. Now this is the last thing, because I know you probably ain't gonna say this because nobody. We want to be able to do the hair and all that stuff. I said, listen, just so you don't have to keep asking all of them. You can do her hair, you can do her nails, you can do her makeup, you can dress her, you can do whatever you need to do. You can put her in the casket if you want to. You know, less work for me.
Well, a couple serious questions before that. Jeanette asks, what about when the nerves jump? Does that happen long after or only before embalming?
Yo, the body moves?
Never experienced it.
Oh, the nerves don't jump? Okay.
Never experienced it. Now, I've had a situation, I cannot lie. I've had a situation where I've picked up somebody. Now, of course, you know, when the body moves and stuff like that, the body, you know, it's still, you know, it lets stuff happen or whatever the case may be, you know. I don't understand all the signs and shit behind it, but I've picked up somebody before and I put him in the morgue and my partner was talking to me, so I'm talking to him. Now, I took the sheet and everything off. Now, mind you, I know how I picked the man up. The man's like this, the shit shut. I'm talking about they shut. So I'm talking to him or whatever, and I just turned around. I'm like, what you jump for? I said, God damn, his eyes done opened up. What? He said, man, you must have picked him up like that. I said, nigga, I know what I did. I did not pick him up like we argued over there, man.
Right, Nikki?
You know, I know what I did. I did not pick him up like that. His eyes was closed. He said, man, bro, you must be tripping. I said, man, I'm not tripping, man. His eyes was closed, and now they open or whatever like that. So I've had that happen a couple other times or whatever, and I'm like, okay, well that's just something that just it just happens or whatever and stuff like that. But yeah, I've had that happen, and I've had a situation too where I took this old man, love him to death, man. It's my guy. Took him with me. Lazy as a motherfucker. This is back when I worked for my dad's funeral home. We went to go pick up a body from some senior living place or whatever. We had to get on the elevator and all this shit, this big high rise and stuff. We go in there, the police is by the door, they're just standing there and stuff. I'm like, hey, I'm such with such funeral home. Yeah, she's in there. I'm like, damn, they kind of rude. I was like, okay, so we go in there and shit. So as soon as we go in there, my guy, my old head man, he goes in there before me. So I'm walking in. I can't see over him because he just got these broad shoulders and shit like that or whatever. So as he walking in, he cussing. Nope, fuck that. Nope, I'm not doing. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? Keep your voice down. Man, fuck you, man. I'm not doing. I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? So we go in there, we close the door or whatever. The lady was in one of those little chairs, with the little stick to shit that you can move it, turn it and stuff like that. And she must have felt, not must, but she fell on the ground. She fell on the ground. Stuff like that happen. You can't pick and choose. When death comes, you can't say, hey, I'm in my bed looking good when I die. Shit.
Amen.
When it happens, when it happens, it happens. So, she,
wow.
So we go over there. She's on the floor or whatever. And I'm like, damn. So he's like, damn. So I'm like, man, what we gonna do? Shit, what you gonna do? So I'm like, all right, let me think for a minute. So this is what we gonna do. We're gonna grab her because she was on her side like this. So we kind of grabbed her a little bit and we turned her on her stomach. But in the process of us now mind you, this is all the air that's pushed up in the, pushed up on her and all that stuff. So when you turn somebody naturally, all of the air and stuff like that, so all you heard was like that. So mind you, I got the arm or whatever like this. So by the time I turn around, I'm like, hey man, grab. I said, man, come on, man, stop playing. Man, fuck you, man. I'm telling the police off, that lady's still alive. I said, man, come back here, stop playing. I'm not playing, motherfucker. I'm not helping you. I said, man, Louis, bring your ass back in here, man. Come on, man, so we get this lady on the thing. Man, I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm not helping you. That lady's still alive. Tell her to get up and get on the gurney then. I'm like, stop playing. Or whatever. So he goes out there and tell the police officers, like, look like a damn fool. That lady's still alive. Man, I just heard her breathe. The man's like, he come in, he's like, surgery. I'm like, man, it was just the air, releasing from stuff, whatever, like that or whatever.
Because they pass gas too, right?
Yeah, I mean, fart shit, all that stuff. So, but
that's hard.
He told the officers had to come in there and help me because he did not come back in that room. He did not come back in that room. So the whole time we going back to the funeral home and shit, he like this. Every so often, like he got on my nerves. I had to ask him, fucking stop doing that, man. So we driving the shit. We get to a red light. He like,
everybody ain't built for that.
Look at
see if she's still alive.
My God, this dude is fucking crazy.
All right, if they want to get in touch with you, if people want,
who's gonna want Frank to bury their
listen, I like Frank. I might do my pre-needs with you.
I like Frank with the vitamin E.
Wait a minute, Jay. You had some questions about the money.
I wanted the allocation, but before that, real quick, me and my wife, we was talking yesterday, and I said you were coming on. She said y'all glue earrings on because the earlobes are frozen, like they stiff up too. Is that true? Like if somebody got jewelry, I know you said you don't do jewelry, but can y'all glue? I know the clothes is cut, but do y'all glue earrings and jewelry on the people?
No, what I normally do is the earring, the back of the earring is so strong that if they don't have a hole in their ear, or if it's closed up, I'll grab the ear a little bit and I'll just punch it through.
Does it, if it lock up though, like the earlobe that's loose for us, does that stiffen up too?
Why are you so fascinated with earrings?
If you punch the earring through, it'll go through.
It goes no, because we literally was debating this yesterday. I don't know. All right, so
you don't waited 20 minutes. You don't waited 20 minutes to ask a goddamn question about the earrings.
But no,
the only time I use glue is if sometimes of course when you're laying down, the earrings hang. So in order to keep them, I might glue them right here so they can stay perfect and stuff like that. That's the only time. Before as gluing them to the actual earlobe, we don't do that.
And when I was talking earlier, I was asking Shawn about the finances of it, like the bottom line costs, like, and the markup and how the profits and proceeds. I guess it's just for like explain the money. Like when you get those thousands of dollars, I'm sure the casket really ain't thousands of dollars, and that's a lot. So how do y'all break that down related to the finance? I feel like it's a huge markup for y'all.
Not really, because a lot of stuff it's illegal. It's illegal. Like you can't mark up a lot of stuff, like the cemetery. So if the cemetery charges $12.50, I can't go and say since I'm burying on Saturday and it's so late, I'm gonna put an additional $1,500 on there, $500 on there. You can't do that. Certain stuff far as like cash advance items and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff in Missouri, I'm speaking from Missouri. We're not allowed to mark up a lot of that stuff. Now the casket, if we charge $2,000 or $3,000 for a casket, best believe that casket is somewhere in between $1,795 or something like that.
Yeah, I paid $1,400 for mine, Frank.
Huh?
I said I paid $1,400 for mine. I ended up not getting mine from the funeral home. I paid $14. No, I went to Titan Caskets. Shameless plug. I don't want to get them no free advertisement, but I worked with the guy at Titan Casket in Arkansas and got one off of there. But you can't get it from Walmart. You can get it from Walmart.
Yeah. What type of casket is it? That's important.
It was the red. I got a red casket because my grandma said she wanted a red casket. So I got her a red casket, and which is not something that the funeral home actually had. They had cherry wood, all them colors, but they ain't had that fire engine red, like what DMX was buried in.
You got the DMX casket?
Before DMX. Before DMX.
Believe it or not, that casket wasn't expensive at all.
Mm-hmm. That was cheap when I started looking and understanding the gauges and the swing bar and all of that. I thought a casket was a casket.
No, but you got to understand too. You guys, they require vaults down there in Arkansas, so you cool. You have to have a vault.
Well, no, the funeral was in New Jersey. The funeral was in New Jersey. It was in New Jersey, but so I had it shipped, and I had to meet them at the funeral home to inspect the casket before they would drop it off.
Now, was it a silver casket, which means did the casket was it a protective casket where
it was a couch a couch casket where you could see from it was a full couch because I needed her shoes to show, and we wanted her to look like how Aretha Franklin had that full layout. You could see from head, you could see her red bottoms, all that.
Yeah. So was it a protective casket, or did it protect against water and all of that stuff? Was it a seal at the end of the service?
Seal, yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Protect from water?
Because when you bury them, but when you bury them, things, yes.
So these caskets that seal, they do test on them. Like they dig some caskets up, with people in it every probably 30 or 40 years and test the quality of their caskets. Like if you go on and Google some of those caskets, some of those nice caskets, when you dig that person up, their body's still intact until the air hits them. Once the air hits them, of course, they become ashy and stuff like that. But if they're embalmed good, like I've kept the body up to a year.
Oh, bless.
Before.
Damn.
Bless you.
Because they ain't give you your money. I get it.
No. They paid. Matter of fact, the guy was a prince over in Nigeria. He was a prince over in Nigeria. In order to ship overseas like that, man, it takes time like that, bro.
What is that, Mike?
Do you rent?
What is that?
What the hell in the funeral procession music? What is that?
Do y'all have the ring caskets? I saw Jeanette's question. Is interesting. Do y'all use the same casket for multiple people? Frank, do they double dip like that though, Frank? With the same casket, are they double dipping with the same casket they using for multiple people throughout?
Oh my God, Jay wants to scam so bad.
It's impossible to use the same casket on
But if they getting cremated, you know what I'm saying? If they getting cremated, like if it's just
now you can't. You can
rent caskets, right, Frank?
Yeah.
Do you rent some of your caskets?
So we have a thing called a cremation casket, which means you can change out the lining on the inside of the casket at the end of the service. Instead of taking the body, picking it up and pulling it out, you open up the lid.
It's like you getting a pre-owned casket, but it's certified. But it's certified.
It's certified though.
You open up the two little bottom parts down there at the end, knock the bottom half down, that it flops down. You pull the whole box right out of the casket, put another one in, and reuse it.
Being a black-owned business, we always want to support black-owned business. Do you find yourself in competition with the white funeral directors and the white funeral homes people? So I'm going to them because you over here wilding. Like, do you find
we die fast? So there's a lot of us.
No, white people, they stay in their lane. They stay in their lane here. They bury their own. Now, of course, you have those uppity, house niggas that that go to white funerals because they feel like they'll be treated with class and all this stuff. But the white people, you really get dogged out, honestly. They don't
want Pawpaw down there. Don't send Pawpaw with them folks.
They don't want you there.
Nope.
Certain white funerals, they're so racist that I'm gonna use this for example before I say that we have a cemetery here that only white people was able to be buried there. They started allowing they just started allowing like black people to really start being buried there within the last probably 20 some odd years or whatever. But when you go there now, you see so many graves that's empty, and the reason being is because a lot of white people are moving their loved ones from there because black people are being buried by them, and they don't believe in. They just they're racist to the core. They like, hey, listen, even in death, mama don't like niggas. We're not gonna be buried by one. So we're gonna move her, and they're doing it, man. People think that racism just exists with everyday living and stuff like that, man. But even in death, man, it's bad. It really is, man. I've known a white funeral. They got in trouble for this too. When they would get black bodies in, they would separate the black bodies from their white bodies. They would put the black bodies back off in the little room or whatever until it was time to get them dressed and all of that stuff, and then they would bring them out and do their things and stuff like that. But they would not have them like you couldn't be there with a white family and stuff like that because they felt as though it would bring their call value down from their their trusted white people or whatever. So yeah, man, this stuff is really deep. It's deep, man. When I first opened, bro. When I first was trying to open, Iris and Naru, they flew me to Miami. I went down to Miami and stuff just to get my mind together, man, because I was getting attacked so much. Like every little thing that I was doing, man, they were coming back finding little reasons to mess with me. Like they were sending the state board messing with me every single day, and like it was so crazy, bro. I was so stressed out that it was mind blowing because I was at another funeral home that that I was part owner with and stuff like that, and I left there like just out of the blue. I just up and left. I didn't have a plan or anything to open up this funeral home. I did not have a plan. I didn't have a business, like nothing at all. I just left that other place or whatever. Man, business partner fell out and stuff. And I started going out and helping my dad out of his place just to make, bring money home with him. So I was dressing his bodies, casketing them and all of that stuff and helping out there. But my phone would still ring. People would call me, hey bro, Putt just got killed last night. I'm like, oh, well, damn. Shit, I ain't gonna tell him no, shit, I ain't gonna tell him no. So listen, this is what you need to do. You need to call this funeral home and let them pick them, up or whatever like that. And so I was still, allowing them to go to other funeral homes where, other people could service them or whatever. So they were still getting the service and getting everything that they needed and what have you and stuff like that. but people were calling saying that I was using my funeral home to still service people, which was not the case. You know, it was not the case or whatever. So, yeah, man. They were on my butt, man. They were on
so
my
it's a
butt.
clique. It's hard to get into that clique. So I guess the funeral homes, the cemeteries, they all work together. Everybody work together to recommend certain places. Is it bigger profits with cemeteries versus funeral homes? Like where's
no, not at all, man. The funeral home. The only thing is with cemeteries, man, they don't have to do as much work. You know, all they do is digging a hole, putting the body down there, throwing the dirt back over there. Versus us, we have to deal with all the bullshit. When we make a funeral arrangements, people pulling out guns on each other and shit. You know what I mean? Like for real, man. That conference room, I've seen it divide families and I've seen it pull families together. Like that room right there, when somebody die, man, it's a hell of a thing, man. It's a hell of a thing. I've seen people that haven't talked to their people in 20 years, you know, reunite and they're all cool and talking and they fine and chilling with each other now and stuff like that. But then I've seen it come with people who are like this. But when they leave, they like this. Like, nigga, I see you out there on the streets, nigga. Matter of fact, don't come to the funeral. If you come to the funeral, it's funk on site type of stuff. Damn. So we've had a situation where this side of the family had a funeral, then we have to allow this side of the family to have a funeral. We have a wife that didn't get along with the mother, so the wife, you know, she has all the say so and everything, but she allowed the mother to have her own funeral. So the wife had a funeral, rented out this big ass church, spent a lot of money, and so we went to the big ass church. The church seat over probably 4,000 or 5,000 people. Only 30 people showed up, maybe, to the wife funeral.
Right.
The mama had a funeral the next day at another church. Shit, man, it was standing room only.
It was sold out. You had to get them tickets on StubHub. So sad, the division. No, that's this division. Right. You honestly, you need cameras to follow you. You need.
No, you're hilarious.
And you just need to have it like, you know, like, because this is like the angle that you're giving us about what goes on is so different than what everybody else sees. And, you know, I mean, some of it is real sad. Some of it is real sad. You know, people getting shot up at funeral homes is not that shit is sad. Yeah. But some of the stuff is funny that you say, you know, you can dress them if you want. You can do all the makeup. You can do whatever you want. You can put their body in the casket if you want. Give a damn. Just go ahead and make it happen.
I do that, man, because it's people. I allow the family to have that one-on-one time. You know what I mean? You know, that's the last thing that you could possibly do for your loved one. Why would I take that from you? If your place is up to par, if everything is fine and dandy and stuff like that, it's not illegal for a family member to do that. A family member can take their own loved one body and transport it if they want to in the state of Missouri. It's not illegal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not illegal, but funeral homes, they don't educate people on this because they're greedy and they want to keep the money and shit like that.
Right.
You know, but when my family get there, they're like, man, let me ask you a question. Why do you explain this type of stuff to us and you can make the money off of it? Like our families, they be like, well, listen, woo, that's kind of high. That earn right there is kind of high. I'm like, okay, well, shit, let me show you something. www.amazon.com.
Right.
Now, I want to let you know this.
Yes.
If you see a goddamn earn for $4, don't think for 1 second this motherfucker is gonna turn your neck green because it's $4. You get what you pay for. You know what I mean? The reason why the urns at the funeral home are so expensive is because they guarantee the quality of their merchandise. It's real. It's the real deal. So don't come to me talking about, well, I bought this off Amazon. It's not my problem. You need to contact Amazon because you know, shit, I didn't sell it to you. You know, I can guarantee my stuff. Anything that we sell, I can guarantee you, but I can't guarantee you off Amazon. So when you want to go cheap, I mean, that's the consequences that you know, shit that you.
Well, Frank, if they want to get in touch with you, because now that we know the bodies can be transported and we know the details on that, if people want to get in touch with you and get the top flight treatment other than Jay Black, how do they get in touch with you?
I mean, they can reach out to us we're on all social medias. Savory and Sons Funeral Home.com. You can go on there and leave your contact information that automatically comes to us too as well. Our telephone number is 816-437-7766. Yeah, man. So, man, it's not hard to reach us, man.
Well, I'm just letting you know right now, we're going to call you because heaven forbid if something happened to Jay Black, I don't even think he got his insurance together.
I ain't calling. You already planning deaths and shit.
Right.
What are you talking about?
I like his prices though. His prices on point.
I'm pre-planning because
pre-plan for yourself. How about we call?
I am. I definitely am. I'm pre-planning because I don't want my loved ones to have to set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
so you hit something very important. A lot of people don't think about. Nobody want to think about their own death.
No.
But the burden is left on the family to come up with that money to give you a proper burial.
Do you know the thing about the GoFundMe? One of the things that I dislike about the GoFundMe is because families, they'll show me all day long. And it's hard to explain to Black people, especially when they think they know it. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it. Just let them think what they want to think or whatever, and just and that's it. But I've had situations where family come in, yeah, we got 4,000 on GoFundMe. Look right here, we got the 4,000. I'm like, listen, I understand you got it on GoFundMe, but I don't have it. It ain't in my hand. It's not in my hand. So contact GoFundMe and do that. So when they contact, I already know what's gonna happen when they contact GoFundMe and they get the money and retrieve it. GoFundMe takes a percentage off of everybody who donates.
Oh.
They take a percentage off of everyone who donates, and then at the end of you cashing out, they also take a percentage off. So that 4,000 now becomes maybe 3,000 and some dollars.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah, do you think they just making up these pages for people to get money, and Uncle Sam ain't making no money off this shit? Best believe that it's just like Cash App. They take percentages off of this stuff, and that's their way of making money. And I try to educate the families and tell them what is the difference from. I've set up everything. And most funeral homes, the average funeral home, they don't do it because they feel like it's so unprofessional, whatever like that. You can pay me with Cash App. You can pay me with PayPal. You can Zelle me. You can do.
I love it.
You get to me, I'll take it because I understand the new generation, the new era that we're dealing with. This is this type of shit. You can Apple pay me, because we understand. This is the new trend. I'm not gonna tell people tell all these 13 or 15-year-old kids to go out there and go give me a money order. It needs to be a money order. No, man. Do you know? You tell these young kids, listen, we're gonna make sure your partner's taken care of, man. But go out there, put out our PayPal, put out our Zelle, and put out our Cash App and shit like that, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
When they put that out, you're like, damn. I mean, the Cash Apps come through so much, like, damn.
Frank, thank you, dog. Thank you for educating. We don't think he takes food stamps, but thank you once again. We love to have you back on the show. What if I want to bury him in my car? Damn it! Why can't y'all just have a regular goddamn funeral? What is this? Like, what are y'all talking about?
You ain't got to be licensed though, Frank. Though, right? You could work in any state.
Jay Black with another fucking question. Jeez.
Okay, all right. I just make sure. So, I'm thinking if I want to start my own funeral home, I don't have to have a license. I can probably do my own.
Oh Lord!
You definitely do it, but you might want to talk to the Godfathers in whatever state that you're gonna open up a funeral home, because they're gonna give you hell. The only advantage that I had, I've been in the funeral business since I was 6 years of age. So that's the only advantage that I've had. I never had any other job in my life besides this. This is all I know. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff.
Savory.
Bless you.
There you go. Y'all got the website. Check him out. IG, Facebook. He's on all social media platforms. We appreciate it. You're a character. We would love to have you back. Maybe a segment or something. We'll do something down the road. And I think we said Media Room 360. Let's get him his own show, Shawn. I agree with that.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it.
It's 360. It ain't at 7 o'clock in the morning. This shit was hard getting up, man.
I can imagine. Trust,
man.
Frank, we come up with a time that works for you.
Frank, let me tell you, Frank, you have no idea how much cocaine I do in the morning time to do this, everyone. It is amazing what I do. Wow. But look, we're gonna get you on Media Room 360. I'm sure Jay Black.
I'm gonna let you know this. My wife said, glad to know somebody can get you up that early. I said, oh shit, here we go.
Jay Black said he's going to FaceTime you. He has like 5 more questions for you.
That's cool.
He wants you for another hour. Jay Black wants you for another hour.
No, we got Leah Frazier coming up next.
I know, yeah. Thank you, Frank.
Man, thank you guys.
Thank you, Frank.
So much,
I love it.
Jesus God.
All right.
I love it.
All right. Mike, you're not trusting him, are you, with your body, with your family?
I trust. You know what I am trusting? That after an hour of talking to him, that you'll have another fucking question. That's what I am trusting.
It wasn't an hour, but no, he's a character.
What happened to your radio history on leaving on a high? What happened to that? Where was that at right there?
I was
in radio etiquette?
I was intrigued.
No, you were selfish. You want to know the ins and outs and how he can mark up a casket.
Because if I want to start my own business, could I?
Yeah, it's selfish records.
Phaedra Parks went back. She's an attorney, but she went back to mortuary science school and she became a funeral director.
Jeez, yeah. It's money in that. It's money. I guess it never goes out of style. I guess that's it. Recession proof.
Should turn into Ambien. All right.
I enjoyed the interview. It was good.
It was. He's hilarious. He's a hilarious character for the first 35 minutes. Like
Jay Black was asking for personal reasons.
No, Jay Black just out of nowhere.
He wanted to get into business.
Went to fat asses and bombing and drama and you know, how do you mark up the casket?
How do you get that?
It was the vitamin E though for me.
The vitamin E was amazing information. That's amazing information right there. Right there, I think that is something that we should actually want to happen. Like vitamin E and not doing the makeup and stuff like that.
Can you get that vitamin E on her skin? Like, yeah, I like that.
I just want to know, how is the racket really run in the back? All right, so we got Leah Frazier.
Leah says she'll be joining in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, top of the hour. So you want to take a quick break?
Oh, man.
And then we can come back.
I'll see y'all in 20 minutes. All right.
I know Shawnee has to go. So we'll take a Shawnee. I guess you can start the break off, and then we'll come back.
Shawnee was hanging in there. She was hanging in there too. Shawnee was hanging in there.
Shawnee gotta go to work.
I saw Shawnee.
She gotta go to her 7th job now.
Yeah.
I am the deacon. Shawnee missed that show.
Jay Black went from the deacon.
From deacon board to the funeral.
Deacon board to the funeral.
Yeah, that was another thing. We interviewed the bishop, and all this bastard wants to do is be the leader of the deacon board.
Some shit.
Yeah, first he said, "Can I be the bishop?" Couldn't be the bishop. Then it was like the minister couldn't happen. He's like, "Well, maybe I can just run the deacons." Like he didn't even know what he don't even know who the apostles are, and he wanted to run the deacons. Like he don't even.
That deacon board run the church now.
Get the
that deacon board tough.
But he said $700 for everything. I was like, damn, okay.
That's for cremation, Jay Black.
No, we need to have the bishop and Frank, the funeral director, on the same show. And we just need them to ask them questions, but we gotta make sure they have a certain time limit on answering the questions and get directly to it, because that would be hilarious. Those two right there. My God, man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how much, if I ever am going to take care of myself, my health and everything, because I do not want to die right now after that interview. No, I'm playing. I mess with Frank.
We love the transparency. We love the realness.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Take this break. This is Black and Mild break. Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to hit it?
Now Jay don't want to hit it. Now Jay don't want to hit the button.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
He don't. He want to be the leader of the deacons.
Which one did you play last? That's the. I don't want to play same
Pilar.
Stuff is dry, girl. Please.
Girl, bye.
Busy.
Now if that was me, Michael Shawn, running the boards, he was like, oh my God.
What's going on, everybody? This is J. Marie Poetry, and the best part of my morning starts with Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. Dirty word to prove. Peace.
Michael Shawn from Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. And just in case you missed the show, check this out. When did a 13-year-old become a central 13?
If you can do it for 13,
Jay, shut 16, the fuck up.
18, 21. It's just certain, like those.
Jay Black. Shawnee Scott is a single mom. Why would she have that pressure to do a 13-year-old motherfucking birthday?
Because she want her child to have something she couldn't have. She want her child to do better or have the experience that she didn't get the experience.
Jay Black, shut your corny ass up. Jay Black,
Right.
She is a struggling. She's a struggling. This woman is by herself. This woman is by herself.
And you can want to do for your kids.
Jay Black, are you going to help her, Jay?
That's if it
are
came
you
down
gonna
to
help
it,
her?
If she said Jay
Black, are you gonna
Jay did send some money?
I wasn't bringing that up. I wasn't.
You sent a few $100s. Cute.
Cute. What I'm saying is, if she was like, "Yo, I really want to do this for my child. I'm a little short. Why wouldn't I help a friend out?"
And how much you send, son? How much you send?
I don't care if it's $1, if it's $1,000. It don't really matter. If a friend needs help trying to do something special for their child and you can support and help them, go for it.
Dog, this is what kills me. They're 13. You're not supposed to. She's not supposed to go through what she's doing right now for a 13-year-old birthday party.
There's the person that rented out the whole hall, had the whole thing decked out. And guess what I was making? Had the chair, the whole kit and caboodle.
Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it.
You did it all.
Dude, I was making a gang of money. Search Media Room 360 on all streaming platforms. Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends. Yeah.
Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you
Baby,
laugh.
tap in. Tap in.
Don't never stop if you wanna be on top. Yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in.
Oh, I'ma tap in for sure.
Tap in.
You, Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends is Friday. Jay Black, Sexy Mo. Let's see if we get on this IG live, y'all. I'm exhausted.
So I'm using my hotspot. Don't invite me to IG live where everything will click off.
What's wrong with you? What's going on?
My Wi-Fi is. I told you my Wi-Fi has been messed up.
Did you call the cable people?
Yeah, I have to go and take the modem in and pick up another modem and all of that. Yeah, because all of the troubleshooting over they troubleshoot first over the phone, and if they can't get it right, and they send little shock waves or whatever to your system and reset it, it still wasn't working right.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up with these cable people and this troubleshooting. I do not pay so that I have to do all the work at the house. Like, it irritates me to no end.
Try this.
Try this. Go to your
Try
modem.
that, right.
Press this. Do you
like
see
you
this?
a damn IT like you an IT tech.
If I would have done that, I would have hooked it up myself from the door. Like, why am I looking for lights? Do you see this? Do you see that? Like, no.
Right.
Because it's so many people, they send somebody out and come to find out it was just the cord wasn't actual cable wasn't tight enough or the whatever.
Yes, and that's what we're paying a monthly fee for. Right. That's outrageous. I'm like, and then when they say, oh well, you know what? Like they did Mo. Now she got to go in and take the modem when they should be going to her and give her a new one and install it for her. Like that.
Now during COVID, I had to argue them down because they charged me that installation fee. But all he did was hand me the box through my window, and then it came with instructions on how I had to set it up.
Look at this nonsense. Look at this.
But I still had to pay the fee.
That's a pet peeve. She had to actually install the thing herself.
I installed it myself.
Hence why it's not working.
It was like how much wire you need in the house, how long that wire need to be. And he fished the wire through, and I had to hook up all of that stuff myself.
And did you need a long wire or was it a regular wire? I'm just playing.
I have an anaconda wire.
Keep it coming through the window.
Keep it coming, baby. Keep it coming.
You need more? Yes, I need more, little man.
Not the little man.
All right, man. What are we doing? I'm done.
So we had the clip that we was going to play for Leah Frazier.
Be mad.
It was the 16-year-old girl with the popo and Kylie. We can get Leah to talk about it. She should be popping in any second.
All right, well, just show us the video. Just so let's piss everybody off on a Friday. Let's Let's see what the young lady did.
She was on that little bike right there, that little scooter, and she ain't got no license. It's not an authorized vehicle. So the police, they stopped her. They wanted to holler at her. She was being resistant according to them, and then they choked her, threw her to the ground, and here we go.
Hey, go get my brother.
Did you just try to bite me? Did you just try to bite me?
Hey, call my brother. Call my brother. Call my brother.
Hey, I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah. So that's the that's the gist of it.
So the little motorbike, and first of all, if it goes above a certain amount of miles per hour, which that thing did not look like it did.
They said high rate of speed. She was traveling at a high rate of speed, they said.
So why not just give her a ticket and just take take the motorbike?
That's it.
Why can't
normally you get a citation? That's it.
You did more than you did more to her than you would have done to me if I was driving with a suspended license. Like you would have just y'all can't wait to put your goddamn hands on somebody.
Yeah.
They said she was being
it could be the most
and challenging and difficult. I guess she wasn't answering their questions.
Okay, so this is your citation. I'm giving you this ticket.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking the motor vehicle. What are you going to do? What are you going to charge her with now? You think she's going to Rikers?
16.
And I get it. Like we can jump into the whole attitude that the girl had, but y'all are grown at. Why do grown ass men are ever held to a standard of being grown men?
Mm-hmm. But Mike, in that video that you just showed, I didn't see so much as a disrespect and attitude. I saw a fear at the moment. At first, like, well, wait a minute, what did I do? I don't understand. And then it was like, oh, can you call? When they started grabbing her, it was like, call my brother. Can you call somebody? Call somebody.
And God forbid you say, you know what? Where's your phone? We're gonna call
somebody. It's 2-on-1 without she doesn't have a weapon.
It's ridiculous. It's just
over a bike, over something that's a ticket.
But do we teach our kids if the police stop you to play nice? Do we teach them that, or should we teach them that?
So it depends on so it depends on what's interpreted as nice. Because if I recite my rights to you or ask you, well, why is this being done to me, or what's going on? Why am I being detained? That's part of your constitutional rights. So on one hand, do you teach your kids to ignore their rights and allow somebody in an authoritative position to do whatever it is that they want to do to you? It's hard. It's a hard situation. Some parents, live with the theory of I need to teach my kids how to stay alive. And then some parents say, hey, I'm not teaching my kids to walk with their head low. So it's a catch there, Jay Black.
It's just amazing to me.
Damned if you don't.
It's just amazing to me that if that's in a different neighborhood, we know it gets treated differently. Just in a different neighborhood, it gets treated differently. Like I don't understand why you don't just say, all right, chill for a second. Let me explain to you why you're in trouble, because you're riding this motorbike that you shouldn't be riding without a license. Got it. You're 100% wrong. Now, if we need to call your parents, you need to call somebody. Call somebody. But the fact that y'all feel it's okay to throw this girl on the ground, a 16-year-old, two men. So how do y'all handle grown men when y'all arrest them? I want to know. How do y'all do that? Because y'all was struggling with a 16-year-old. I guess y'all just take your guns out. I guess that's what y'all do. Yeah. Y'all just take your guns out at that point. Like this is, and then he's complaining.
If that was a man, I could see that being a shooting. I could see that ending up in a shooting.
You throw her on the ground and then you complain that she's biting you. How in God's green earth does that make sense to you?
Your body naturally goes into fight or flight, though, Mike. Yes, it naturally goes into fight or flight when something like that is happening.
She tried to bite the officer. That's considered, I guess, assault on the officer. And even though you're being drugged down, I guess your natural instincts to fight back. But they're saying she shouldn't have tried to bite him. She shouldn't have been so resistant.
That is a natural reaction to someone who if you fear for your life, you have two men with guns on top of you trying to, yes, that's it. That I know probably naturally, I would probably do anything to get somebody off of me if I'm in that much fear.
Look, she's living her worst nightmare. The worst nightmare is about to happen now in her mind. Like Mo said, I'm going to reiterate what Mo said. Her worst nightmare is about to happen. Two cops are about to, in her mind, there's a chance it's about to be over now. And listen, was she supposed to be riding a motorbike? No, she wasn't. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but they saying if she thought it was her worst fear, why didn't she comply?
Because why would you comply when George Floyd complied? He died.
And that's not a regular circumstance. So everybody says what they would do in hindsight, looking at the footage. If I was there, she could have did this, she could have did that. When you are in the moment and something like that is happening to you, and you as a 16-year-old has seen all of these videos of what police brutality has done, and how it's led to people dying. What is going through your mind? It's probably a whole movie going through her mind. I'm about to die. They're going to kill me. They're going to harm me. What are you going to do? You're going to fight to stay alive. You're going to fight to, come on. I'm sorry.
And
I hate to see that.
And for all
she got
the people,
the two hands around her throat too. That was a 2-hand choke.
And it was like, are you trying to fight me? You trying to fight me? What are you trying to create that narrative for?
And when I know what y'all gonna say, you don't know what it's like to be a cop, and that's why I'm not. And that's why I'm not.
Well, let's bring in our
But
lawyer.
there's also officer training and things like that to teach you how to not escalate situations to the point where you're doing that to somebody over what's perceivably a misdemeanor ticket at best.
And I can't handle y'all with you ain't never been a cop. You don't know what it's like to be a cop. And I'm going to say this over and over again. I don't know what it's like to be a crack dealer. And guess what? That's why I don't sell crack, because I'm not built. So if you're not built to deal with these situations fairly and being under these high pressure situations, which are unfair, not in this case, which can be totally unfair, because there are tons of great police officers who have lost their life just coming into a domestic violence situation where they were trying to save somebody and they wound up losing their life. And that is tragic. But in this case here,
lawyer, healer, advisor, she does everything for us. Leah Frazier,
tarot card reader.
Yeah, tarot card reader. Yeah, she read cards.
Good morning, Leah. I love your glasses.
Leah.
Good morning, beautiful.
You look great, Leah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. You saw the disturbing video. This is one of them Friday stories. You didn't see it? So let's show it so you can tell us what you think, Leah. And you might want to do one of your meditation things and do breathing first.
It was a 16-year-old girl, Leah, that was on a motorbike. Police said traveling at a high rate of speed. She wasn't being cooperative when they was trying to talk to her to get information, and they ended up throwing her to the ground and choking her. She attempted to bite them, and now it's going viral.
Hey, go get my brother!
Did you just try to bite me? Did you just try to bite me?
Hey! Call my brother! Call my brother! Call my brother!
Hey, I'm gonna go over there.
Well, you get the gist of it there.
At what point did you see the need for that level of aggressiveness with two men, two officers? And how could it have been de-escalated in your eyes just from seeing that clip?
I didn't see a need for it at all. I'm trying to figure out, this is a motor scooter thing. Was it a slow day? I didn't see a need for it at all. And this is a child. No.
Yeah, I mean,
none of that should. I don't even have any words. I don't even know what would have brought them to even tackle her in the way that they did. This is, hey, slow it down, a warning. This didn't need to have her flipped and tackled like a football player. And you hear her screaming, and they still keep going. And did you try to bite me? Of course, she tried to bite you. Because you threw her to the ground unnecessarily. She didn't do anything wrong. It's a scooter on a sidewalk.
Then just take it. If you don't want her to ride it, take it. Just take the scooter, throw it in your trunk, and say you can't ride the scooter. We see you get on it. We're gonna give you a citation.
Ride those scooters that light up, you know.
Yes.
Music. They zip those things around here 60 miles an hour every single day. It's just something that the kids do. And so I don't. No, none of that.
I think it was the ego thing. Like Mike,
cops should be suspended.
I think Mike was on to something with the ego thing because they said she was being, I guess, defiant and difficult. So that I guess that's what escalated. It was their ego, their personal pride, and then they with the stop resisting. When you hear stop resisting, you know they setting something up. When you start hearing stop resisting, and I guess they wanted to put her in cuffs, and then she resisted, but only because she was difficult.
I'm gonna go as sexy Mo, because I was actually supposed to be in training to be a cop before I became a lawyer. I switched paths, and there is a de-escalation path that you have to go through before you use force and then excessive force. So there's all these steps that come before excessive force, which is what I saw in the video. And she did nothing to escalate it to that manner. There wasn't this I'm curious to know like what defines being defiant, except in all of these videos that we see is being black is just being defiant. Being black and being caught up on the streets with two white cops, that's defiant.
And we don't see the whole video. Not that it makes any difference. I'm just saying we don't see the whole. We don't see the whole video. We don't know. Was she even told what she was being detained for? Was she explained to what was happening? Did it jump into this? Did it go directly into this? But I don't even know what to like. If you can't handle if a 16-year-old, you can't handle a 16-year-old in a situation like this, then why are you even a cop? If you can't handle a 16-year-old girl who's riding a scooter, what are you going to do when you're really in the middle of something? And I guess my answer always is, I see why y'all shoot so fast because y'all can't handle these situations. So, I mean,
I saw a clip yesterday on TikTok where they had maybe like 8 sheriff's officers come to this guy. They got a call that there was a suspicious guy with a gun on his hip and a camcorder outside of a county building. So they all rolled up on him and he basically said, look, it's open. It's an open carry county or state, right? I can open carry here and I can film. They was like, no, you can't. It's against the law. And he said, no, it's not against the law. He said, well, this is our policy. He said, policy is not law. And I thought that was very key for people to understand that just because something is policy or past practice to come around and say, you can't do this or you can't do that. If it's not law, then I'm within my rights. So it took a supervisor to say to them, no, he's within his rights. You just look suspicious because you know, this is not the normal. This is not normal. We don't see this happen all the time, but you are well within your rights. So, you know, it could have escalated because one of the guys had his hand, one of the sheriffs had his hand on his weapon and had the flap off of his weapon. So the guy turned to him with the camera and said, are you ready to shoot me? He said, I feel threatened. Why do you have your hand on your gun? And the sheriff said, because I want to, because I can. And so a lot of the comments were like, well, so what if he would have put his hand on the top of his weapon? Because he actually has that right to do that. How would that have turned out? You know, so I think that it's very important that we start understanding what our actual rights are in terms of legal and law. And the guy turned around, you know, eight sheriff officers. He's reciting what they don't even know. Which leads to a bigger problem. How are you in law enforcement, but you don't know the law that you're trying to enforce?
You know what's scary in this, and this might be like off the beaten path. We see so much of this that I have fatigue that I don't even verbally want to even address this stuff anymore because I don't even know what else to do. Like if we see the videos all the time, like what else do we do? Like it's just
you also become desensitized. You become because you're seeing it so much.
Yeah, so
it's just it's another beating. It's another this.
Has to have the financial resources. Her parents are going to need the financial resources or the intellect to be able to find somebody to be their lawyer.
They got them already.
And get this lawsuit going and make that happen. But it's just like We know we're going to see another one. It's not even if we're going to see another one.
So
we
you want to
know
get
there's
Leah?
Gonna be more.
We can get Leah's thoughts. When the Bridgewater scenario, Leah, I don't know if you saw this one where it was a black kid and a white kid fighting, and the white kid was on top as the police arrived. They freed up the white kid and then end up putting cuffs on the black kid. Take a look.
Right out there, go right here. Oh shit! Yo! No, bro. Chill. Brian, get out. Brian, leave. Holy shit. Nah, nigga, what the fuck?
So the gist of that is was it unconscious bias? What was your thoughts like when you see that the black kid is the only one with the cuffs?
The gist is go ahead, Leah. Go ahead.
This is exactly what you said. I mean,
wow.
Obvious.
Yes.
The white kid was the aggressor.
But even if they didn't see it, that unconscious bias is real. It's real.
But
that's a classic example.
But this is the word I want to eliminate: unconscious.
He says it's conscious. It's very much.
It's very conscious. That I looked and I saw the guy in the hoodie. I made sure I saw who was the black kid. And I made
But you see, they set him down. They set him down unattended,
and they put all their force on making sure that they were going to handle the dangerous person.
Because you don't even know if the other kid who they set down had a weapon.
But
didn't check. You just went automatically to assist the other officer with arresting the black kid.
I said this to that little black boy, that little black young man yesterday. Watch who you think are really your friends, because then people around you scattered, and everybody who
pulled out their phones and just
and that's when when everybody says this favorite line, I don't see color. Once them cops came, they saw color, because they was like, we out and we gonna be okay. And let little whatever his name is, Jody Raheem or whatever stereotypical name I want to give him, let him catch it, because we already know what's about to happen. Be very careful, y'all. And I say this to my kids a lot too, when they're around, in a neighborhood that's diversified, which I think is nice. I think you should have people of all colors. But be careful, because when it all goes down, it gets real tribal real quick. Real quick. That I don't even know. I'm sorry, Leah. Go ahead. That this man.
I think that clip did something to all of us, because it's just, again, just another in your face. This is what can happen. And they look like they were in a nice little mall.
Oh yeah, they was in a nice mall in the
nice
food court.
mall.
They was all wearing nice clothes. Everybody was chilling. I'm sure his parents are successful. I'm sure he's got the PlayStation 35. I'm sure he's the
PlayStation 35.
I'm sure everything's all good. Like, he's got the new iPhone and everything. But when reality sets in, and I don't care if you're in the suburbs or the hood, when reality sets in and they roll up in there, because I've been in that same exact situation before. Oh, that reality check comes quick. You go like, and if you don't, and a young man is in the middle of a scuffle, so I don't even know what to tell him to do. He did everything I would have told my son to do. He did everything.
And he told the boy, get your hands out my face.
Now, Leah, as a lawyer, does it matter if the black kid swung first, even though the white kid did the two-hand push? Like, does it matter who?
There was contact, right?
I'm not sure who it looked like. The black kid hit the white kid first. It looked like the white kid just had his hands in his face. However, if you feel like there is an imminent threat, then the white kid is the aggressor first in a criminal assault. If you were to think about it in a criminal assault manner, if he's saying at this point, I think you're threatening me. You're in my personal space. I feel like I don't know what you're going to do. There may be a violation to me, my body, and my person. Then the white kid is the aggressor first. And he has every right to defend himself. But again, it's that gray area in our courts, and it even goes down to what judge gets the case. You know what I mean? Which I hate.
But can they say that the black kid could have walked at that point with his finger in his face? Could the black kid have turned away and walked away? He didn't have to hit
They
his
have
hand.
to look at the surroundings. Did he feel as though he could get away? Look at how many people are.
How many people were around him?
Yeah, how many people did this white kid bring on his side versus his side? Did he feel like he was all alone? They have to factor in all of those elements before, which again, he can just say, okay, I was defending myself. But then again, the court, and again, going even down to the judge, this is why it's so important. I tell people it's so important to participate in your local elections. Because depending on what judge is sitting on that bench determines how they define or what attorney they listen to when it comes down to, is this even a threat to begin with? Was it self-defense on his part?
So watch their hands. I'm just gonna play just the hand part.
Yeah, his hand, when he's pointing.
So it was a hand in the face. Then he swung a hand out his face.
But if you look at the black kid's hand, look at his hand. He's like he's defend like get your hands out my face.
Right.
Look.
And he just pushed it out of the way. Like, get it out of my face. It's in his personal space.
All this is a fight that all the cops had to do was break up evenly and send them on their way. That's it.
Go shop on the other side of the mall.
Just they could have broke that up evenly.
Or leave the mall. Both of you leave the mall.
Y'all both
leave the premise.
The moral of the story is that uppercuts are more effective than left and right hooks. If you watch this video, I'm telling you, people make mistakes all the time, Leah, when they get into the fights because they see too much Mike Tyson. They're always throwing lefts and right. Watch this video. Uppercuts would have been essential. Play the video. I want to break down this video on how important uppercuts are. As a little dude, uppercut. Look. See, he's already ready for the right hand coming. Look, like now watch. See. So now he's gonna get the push. The first should have been a straight right hand. But he's throwing hooks. Uppercuts are open. He even landed an uppercut. If he would have landed 2 more uppercuts, he wins the fight.
He said 2 uppercuts.
2 uppercuts, he would have won. He had an open straight right hand. See, people have to be calm when they get into fights. He had an open straight right. I need, you know what? I need to bring that.
Right?
Yeah, I need to bring that on a sports podcast and break that down like they
I
do.
was say that was like a football play, but you broke it down like boxing.
I wish I would have had the little circle thing that John Madden used to have. I could have been like right here.
Yes, Erica. Yes. And we need to encourage some of our local leaders. If you see some type of promise in someone, what about, picking them up and molding them, having them shadow some of the people who are already in these seats to come up after you. Like some of these cases, you don't even need a law degree to be a judge.
You don't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with y'all. And Trent said it doesn't matter who hit who first. It's a whole bunch.
It just looked like the black kid. His hand was already. When the white kid
had his hand
already, and then he
had his phone in one hand. Yeah. It was just like he was just like, "Hey, get out of my face."
If somebody is this close to my face, I have my hand up, and you're still pushing. I'm pushing you away because I'm defending myself. Not only am I physically demonstrating that, I have verbally communicated that to you as well, and you're still in my personal space.
You're being the aggressor.
Correct, Erica. JPs do not require JPs.
Right.
Someone running right
now.
Yes. Who is running?
And all y'all.
Traffic court too.
And all you young men. What'd you say, Leah?
Evictions.
Oh man, Jesus. Amir Sealy says the problem now, everyone wants to film these things instead of trying to break them up. Yeah, it's a show. It's a show now. Like everybody.
But when the mall police came, they scattered. It was like, oh, yo, let's go.
I don't think that was real cops, but it's mind your business. Like,
they scattered like roaches.
Rent-a-cops with power.
And they were instigating, but there's always been an instigated crowd that would rather see somebody else fight.
I
saw some comments saying, "Why is the black boy around it was all white people?" Like why wouldn't he? He was the only one.
That might be, but back to what Mike said. Mike said everybody who look like they think your friend may not be for you and may not be your friend.
It's the gift and the curse of your parents doing well and doing what everybody has told them to do is to leave where you're from,
get out the hood,
to go behind the. I'm not saying they live in a gated community, but I'm just saying hypothetically, the gated community is the ideal of you've made it in America, which is the sad part because when you're behind those gates, you're now a super minority again. Because the majority of people that you're going to be living with aren't going to look like you.
But now they're saying in the media that the spin is he has some Latino in him, so he's not all black, so it's not a white cop.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
He's Latino, so they can't say he's a black.
So that's why I say black and brown people, because I get tired of them separating. Well, he got a little Spanish in him. He got a little Mexicano. So he might black and brown people, just to clear the air for y'all.
That's when it gets to the point you just go like, all right, you got that. Like I'm not gonna break down everything now. We're not gonna be like, yo, he wasn't all black. He was really his mom's Mexican.
Right.
I think they celebrated a quinceañera. I think they did. And they like Selena a lot.
Yes.
Like, and they also watched the Soul Train Awards, but that didn't count. Like,
they watched the Soul Train Awards.
Like what? Like I can't.
The Virgin Mary is right in their yard. I think that.
But they've been to a Baptist church once or twice. What the hell? Like, what do you want? Like, we don't really break it down like that, but that's where it's going with this. But my God. So, Leah, off the law thing. So, I'm watching you because I haven't seen you in a minute since I left Dallas.
Since you abandoned me.
I did not abandon you. I did not abandon you. I did not abandon anybody. So,
I'm gonna bring you in, but hang tight to me. I'm gonna bring you in. Go ahead, Mike.
So I wanted you doing this and every time I say this, I don't say it correctly. So I'm not trying to insult what you do. I just don't know. I don't know the lingo the way I should know the lingo. But you're doing a lot of meditation and there's a whole lot of breathing and you're doing a lot with it. I just want to know, first of all, how do I learn to do this? And why is it effective? Like, why does it help? Is there a Zen thing that you get from it?
Yes, there's a Zen thing, Mike. So here's what I have to tell people all the time because they come to it and they say either one or two things. I'm a bad meditator. Yes. I'm like, there's no bad meditating. Or they say, I don't know how to meditate. And that's okay because we don't really know how to sit down and be still and be with ourselves. Right. We just don't. So when you first start, yes, you're not going to be able to sit down longer for 2 or 3 minutes without your mind doing all of this. That's why they call it a meditation practice. Just like you would with a sport, you have to do it every single day in order to train the body to calm down. Now, with the breathing that you're talking about, that helps you to stay focused if you're only focusing on your breath, just breathing in and out. And naturally, your body will zen out or calm down, and you'll get the nervous system so when people are stressed, that's why we always try to direct them to breathing exercises. There's so many different techniques you can do to bring that heart rate down, to get calmer. Yes, like Sexy Rose doing right now. And just be.
I won't let Jay Black antagonize me.
No, but it's pretty.
I will not let him bully me.
You know what? Since all of the social and racial injustice, there has been meditations that have come up now directly towards like DEI work. So there's people that are getting booked left and right corporations right now because of that.
And I asked you that because I brought this up on a sports podcast. LeBron James was playing his last game before the All-Star break, and Anthony Davis, the star, Anthony Davis got hurt. LeBron had to take on all the pressure, and he had this magnificent game. And he literally, during a timeout, started meditating on the bench. Like he had his hands and was doing everything. And I was like, and it was so like unique to me because that's not the first time I've seen it. But nobody ever addressed it. Like the announcers didn't say, well, look at this. Like he's really trying to get in tune with whatever he was getting in tune with. Maybe he was just trying to say what you did was getting his breathing right and calming down. But I thought it was dope. But the announcers didn't want to say anything about it. I'm like, the camera's watching LeBron go into some Zen mode in the middle of an NBA basketball game and nobody's talking about it.
Because it's not unique. Most athletes meditate. They just do it in the sports room, or they do it in the locker room or whatever, and he needed to do it in that moment to calm his body down or whatever he had going on in his brain. I don't know what it was. So it's not something like, oh, look, a guy meditating. Athletes do it all the time. They do visualization exercises, which are part of meditation.
We got to meditate that dog. Who got the dog that needs
I know. Give me 1 second.
Amir. Yes. What's going on, Amir? You wanted to join in? First of all, our distinguished gentleman, Amir. I also do a sports podcast with him called Box Seats. What's going on? What did you want to comment on?
Everything is good. Everything is good. First off, the gentleman this morning for the funerals thing was yo, when I say that was hilarious, I couldn't get out my house. I was like, yo, this is hilarious. But I wanted to share a true story about when we buried my brother. And this was back in 2000. You talk about funeral services and things that you go through. At that point, maybe the funeral home game had or had not been used to dealing with people of height and so forth and so on. So I remember we had my brother's funeral in Harlem here in New York, and I remember we were dealing with the funeral director, and at one point the funeral director said to us, well, if we bend your brother's body and put it in the casket, would that be okay? Now, my sister and I had the privilege of working with the funeral director and, trying to get the things done because my mom, obviously, and my dad were, going through what they were going through. And my sister's the youngest of us all. So, she's the baby in the family. I've never seen my sister upset, but sis lost it. And she was like, so let me understand this. You think that bending my brother, who is 6'8", is a great idea versus you doing your job and making caskets that fit young men and young women who are now growing to these sizes? That doesn't make more sense to you? And the funeral director was, he was kind of blown away because he said, well, to be honest with you, we really don't, deal with people of height. He said, most people, fall in this range as far as, height requirements go. And I said, but I'd have to believe that at this point you're looking at sports and, the various other things that show young men and young women at 17 now are 6'7", 7 feet, so forth and so on. And obviously you never want to see anybody die young,
right?
But that's got to be a possibility. So how is that not factored into your business module as a whole in terms of what you guys do going forward? So it was a whole, big, interesting moment and thing that we had to go through.
And Amir, I'm not making light of this in any way because you know how much I respect you and your brother. But what you're trying to tell me is that tall people don't die.
Exactly. No, and that's why I thought it was such an interesting thing because I was like, so no, again, like you said, no tall people die. I mean, we've lost Will Chamberlain, we've lost the various other people, and then it just made me think to myself, did they get bamboozled into whatever situations they had to deal with based off of maybe not speaking up for themselves? Long story short, though, we ended up, getting a casket, obviously his size, so forth and so on. But the biggest thing that the guy took away from it, and the funeral director came to us later and he said this, he said, I watched y'all have a wake where at least 300 people or more came to, say goodbye to your brother. He said, I've never seen a family know every one of the 300 people. I said, look, bro, first of all, New York was home. Secondly, my brother did what he did. He was who he was. I said, but better than that, going forward, you should treat everybody with that same kind of train of thought and respect. It's not about this, specific situation.
Money.
We as a collective have to do a better job of making sure we give everybody the same love, the same respect, regardless to whatever we think their status may or may not be. So that was the first thing that I wanted to speak on. Secondly, I just came on the tail end of you guys showing the video, with these young people out in the mall. It's funny to me because, now we've become such a mall-like world. When we was growing up, you just didn't have malls. You had roads or areas depending on, where you lived and what cities you lived in. Mike is from New York, so he knows what I'm talking about. You had Fordham Road, you had 3rd Avenue, we had things like that. So you didn't have malls, which means, in theory, you had to always protect yourself going into these spaces. So like if you went clothes shopping or whatever, Mike, you know what I'm talking about, sneaker shopping for school, you had to keep your head on a swivel because the stick-up kids was out and they were ready. The funny thing about malls is, there's this whole weird ideology that those same things don't exist in malls. So now, people go in drones and in groups. I'm going with my girlfriends. We're going to go hang out at the mall and, walk around and stuff like that, which is cool. But as you know, we hearing all these stories of vans and, women being kidnapped and, all these different things. So I just say that we have to do a better job of policing our children in the same way we used to be policed when we were kids, and give them the realest terms of what could be going on out here in these streets. Now, to that young man's, specific situation, like I said, I'm just sick and tired of every moment now being a filming moment versus being a de-escalating moment where somebody steps in and goes, hey, this could have been easily de-escalated based off of whatever. Now, I get it. We young. I was young too. And sometimes, your emotions take over and the energy is, what it is. But if we could do a better job of getting back to that, first of all, we'd see so much less of the interesting things that we're seeing. And then, we'd have, I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, the young lady at the top, Leah Frazier. She's a lawyer.
Leah Frazier.
The Leah Frazier. I'm sorry. We probably would have, less of these kinds of cases that need to come up in front of judges and all of that stuff. So,
Absolutely.
There's so many layers to everything that we have to deal with and face now in, in this particular day and age. But I just get saddened every time I see, this kind of stuff now, because a lot of it, first and foremost, to Mike's point, first of all, these kids can't fight. Let's be clear. You grabbing hair and doing all kind of funny stuff. Y'all don't even know how to square up. So it's not even fighting. You know what I mean? Like in our day, you fought. You came away with a black eye. You came away with a busted lip or whatever. And cats knew you was in a fight. You know what I mean? But now dudes do a little fake scuffle, and we be acting like, ooh, that wasn't a fight. That wasn't even a wrestling match.
That was a tussle.
So, yeah,
come
on.
That was a tussle. And it's unfortunate, but if you're a child of brown or black, let's make it specific, since now it's like if you're Latino, you're not black enough. You have a bigger responsibility every time you walk out into the mall. Every time you walk out, you have to be more aware than everybody else, because a circumstance could happen that you're totally innocent, but you will be looked at as the aggressor. And we've seen it a bunch of times. I don't have the answer for it. I don't know how this country is ever going to change or make a step forward from something like that, because it's so ingrained in us. But I wish there was a kid that would have just said it ain't worth it. But that never goes viral when somebody de-escalates something. You know what I'm saying? That's never going to go viral when somebody says, neither one of y'all really don't want this problem. There are cops over there. Can we just walk off and y'all go your separate ways? Because that doesn't get 1,000 million likes and reposts. And we probably ain't even talking about it. Maybe if we saw it, we'd talk about it, but there's a good chance we wouldn't. So it's a whole, I always tell my kids, the generation that you guys have, I'm amazed at how intelligent you guys are. I really am amazed at a lot of the things they do, but I really feel bad at how much shit they're going to have to deal with that is going to be so far above my head that I'm not even going to get it. Like I still, Leah knows, I still ain't got the pronouns. I still ain't even got the pronouns.
All right, because you better get it fast, because the alphabet crew gonna come get you.
That's why I just say hi. I say hi.
Yeah.
It is difficult, right? I teach, and so the other day I was teaching my students, and I said something to the effect like, okay, his or her, and then I just went on, or whatever you identify with.
Right.
You have to add it at the end, otherwise you may get an email from the dean.
I'm Psy gender. What is it? I'm Psy.
Yeah.
And Dr. Frazier, she offended me.
Yes. I said, or however you identify, and I'm like, "Ooh, okay, I didn't lose my job."
I'm so confused. I just want to know if you are.
That was so cool.
There you go. Crunch and Munch. That is the outdoor meditation that she does.
I love it.
It's coming up next Saturday.
Yeah, it's so Grandscape is like a big outdoor experience in the Dallas area, and so they do these fitness series out on the lawn. They have a big stage, and then so it's gonna be a Black-owned fitness studio before me doing a HIIT workout, and then after you work up a sweat, I'll get on the stage, and then I'm gonna do a guided and sound meditation for people to just zen out. And then they're gonna have food trucks and restaurants, like Black-owned restaurants, for you to get food from, and it's only $20, and then you can shop all the Black-owned shops and retail vendors that are at the destination as well after. So,
well, that's like a wellness Saturday event. I love that. I love that. That's really dope.
I know. I hope it's not cold.
Now, are you gonna have the when you say sound? Are you gonna have that sound that sounds like a bowl, like a ooh?
I'm gonna have
I play that
the
sometimes
bowls.
for sleep.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so the mixer
yes.
that Jay had, that's my root bowl. But I'll have all the bowls, so about 8 or 9 of them.
we didn't say the quiet vibrator 3000, Mike. We said meditation.
Ain't no meditation like I love Leah, and I know her Wellness Saturday is gonna be amazing, but ain't no woman more relaxed till she hears.
Yeah. Mike is retarded. That is hilarious. Yo. Oh.
You can do that too.
Yeah. Sexy Mo said the quiet vibrated 3000. That is hilarious.
The motor is low, but it's a powerful punch.
I appreciate you though. Amir, you got anything else you want to hit on, Amir? While we got you.
I was trying to think. I didn't, like I said, I don't remember anything else that was going on today. But always first and foremost, always enjoy you guys bringing these beautiful topics to the world. And then like I said, your spins on it and everybody's energy, well put in and well placed into everything. The pastor, because I think I watched that show too.
The bishop.
The
bishop. I'm sorry, the bishop.
Yeah.
I thought that one was really good as well. My experience obviously, is a little bit different than most. I grew up not necessarily in the mosque. I always tell people we was the Adams family of the mosque because my parents didn't force us to go to mosque. And when we did, I had on an izad. I didn't have on a gi and I didn't have on a kufi and all that stuff. So it was kind of fun and interesting, coming up when I did. But my my mother's side of the family, when I went down south and I did a lot of that because I got family in North Carolina, we went to church. And I just couldn't take church. I was like, look, this is too long. I don't know how y'all do this. Bless your hearts. It's just too long for me. This sitting here and all the talking and singing, it's too long. It's too long. Y'all,
Amir,
you can wrap this up.
but Amir, real quick, because we ain't got that much time, but because we always we talk about your brother and we how much we admired your brother. But for those people who don't know who your brother was and what he meant to New York City, can you just give so
Sure.
everybody knows?
Okay, so my brother was the late Malik Sealy. He played for St. John's. He was originally drafted by the Indiana Pacers. Some people also might also know him from the movie with Whoopi Goldberg. Well, I can't think of it right now. His character in the movie though was Stacey Patton. And
when she was a coach, she was an NBA
she was a coach. Yes,
she was
for
a
the
coach.
Knicks.
Billy Crystal was in that movie. Yeah,
and she was a coach for the Knicks. So his impact here in New York City and various cities that he played in, because he played for Indiana, he played for Detroit, he played for the Clippers, and his last team was Minnesota. But the impact that he had on the various cities that he played in, the net has been cast super wide, and he just seemed to be one of those people that for most other people they admired his courage and the way he carried himself from the standpoint of understanding what celebrity is and can and can't be. Now, the fun thing about that, and this is a true story, my brother got to that space because when we was little kids, my mom had taken us to Macy's in New York City on 34th Street, and we saw Moses Malone in the cosmetic section. So we little kids, we like,
what the hell was Moses Malone doing in the cosmic?
Who knows? He might have been, with one of his lady friends or his wife or something. Who knows? So we see him, and at that point we went into basketball. So we was like, oh snap, that's Moses Malone, and we run up to him like, oh my God, Moses Malone, could we get an autograph? And true story, Moses Malone hit us with the stiff arm. I don't do autographs, and my brother was pissed. He was like, what you mean you don't do autographs? Like Moses Malone, I'm a kid. Right. And from that, my brother, he took that to say he would never do that to a young person if he had the opportunity to sit and talk to him or give him an autograph. So I have so many stories of people calling me, and this is to this day, like, yo, your brother was at a traffic light. He pulled over, got out of his car, talked to my son for an hour about going to school, or talked to my daughter for an hour about the importance of education, those kinds of things. And I think sometimes, just in general, we forget how impactful those kind of conversations could be. And it doesn't have to be if you're an NBA player, you could be just a normal person. But what happens is when you take that time to, impact a young person, you have no idea how much that's going to be paid over tenfold over the course of your life and over the course of that person's life. So, I just always encourage us all, be as kind as you can to people. As I, tell people, our family creed and motto has always been, it's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. And I really do live by that. Like that's something that really, I've tried to use to impact my life, since I was a young person, and I still use it to this day. And the payout on it has been a million times over. It really has, even including meeting all of you wonderful people here, in the squares. So I tell people, because they're like, I mean, well, how do you know this person? How do you know that person? I said, if I tried to really explain it to you, you wouldn't believe me, because you think it's something magical. And I'm like, no, it's just being nice to people and, being the genuine article. If you can do that, all these other doors that people think are so closed, they're open in ways and faster than you can ever imagine. So I always really try to encourage people, with that train of thought.
Good looking, Amir.
Awesome.
And listen, all I can do is be a witness. Amir's the same way at a comedy show, sitting somewhere talking trash about basketball or whatever. He's the same exact. That's why his nickname for me is the Distinguished Gentleman. That's always his nickname for me when we bring him on. Amir, we got to bring you back on to talk sports one day. And I guess I'll probably see you. I'll probably see you on the podcast today.
Okay. So thank you guys. Y'all have a great day. Everybody have a beautiful weekend as well. All right.
Bye. You too, Amir. You too.
All right.
All right, Leah. And you're going to have a weekend. It's happening this weekend, right? Saturday?
Next weekend.
Next weekend it happens.
I wish I could be there. Oh my God. Like it sounds really interesting.
You never know with Mo. She might actually be there. And you guys might actually wind up in Vegas afterwards. You never know.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Oh, I know you are.
No, Leah has a 4 class. I like your movement, Leah. I've been watching. I know it don't matter to you that I like it, but I like your movement. I see what you got going on.
Leah always got something popping. She always got something official popping.
Yes.
There's always something. Like Leah's dragged me into stuff that I'm like, how did you get me in here? Like, I don't think I'll fit in. Shit, don't worry about it. Just shut up and just get the names right. Just get the names right.
This move, we've got some other big corporations. It's like when I go through the door that I'm always thinking about you guys too. Because I'm like, oh, well, you need a comedian? Oh, y'all pay? Let me hit up Mike. They got about a couple G's. What can you do on Zoom for like 30 minutes,
You made that happen. You made that happen, man. Let me tell you something.
I said, what park? What park is that?
That's at Grandscape in the Colony.
The Colony.
The Colony, Texas.
Oh, that's gonna be nice out there. Oh, the weather should be good.
Yeah.
Make sure the weather pops off.
Extra, so I'm like, is my sound gonna be good? Can we do a sound check?
Oh, no, that's right.
You're gonna have the Janet Jackson mic. You're gonna have the mic, the little
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
You gonna sit through Mo doing like 2 stories, Leah? You gonna sit through?
Yeah.
Or you gotta
it's 9:55. What are you talking about?
I have a question. I actually have one story that I definitely want her opinion on.
Okay.
Can you put your legal hat on? I know you wear many hats. Can you put your
we don't know
hat back on?
Let's get straight to the intro. We don't know if these stories are true or not. We might have to retract them immediately after they're said. So none of these is facts. This is all just alleged with Sexy Mo. There we go. Yeah.
Well, this person is no longer stepping in the name of love. He's stepping in the name of the law, Michael Shawn. We're talking about R. Kelly. He has fired his old legal team, and he has picked up no other than the man himself, the team itself that got off, and pause on that, got Bill Cosby off. He has commissioned Bill Cosby's official legal team to represent him in what he's calling, he wants a new trial he's requesting. He's put in a motion for that. And he wants to be acquitted.
How does he, because every time they tell me he's broke, if I had $1 for every time people told me he was broke. So if he's getting this high priced lawyer, how is he pulling this off? Where is this money coming from?
That's what I want to know.
Maybe his residual. He still get his.
His bank account was in the negative. Last time I checked, they said that his bank account was in the negative. So I don't know if he sold a couple of catalogs since then. I don't know if he has, sold some of his prized possessions or what he has done to try to get this money. But when you're in bankruptcy, or if you have some type of lien against you from different creditors, they can suck that money. They can go back to court and have that activated to actually get paid. So I don't think that he's going to have any type of assets for quite some time. Now, what he's put in his motion is that his legal team fell apart right before they were supposed to go into trial. So that caused him not to be able to have the best defense out there. And so he feels like he's been wrongly punished. And yes, Erica, a lot of people still listen to his songs. And, you know, he's wondering, really questioning why the government was allowed to bring a whole RICO prosecution against him. Basically saying that all of the charges were absurd and he's waiting for another day in court.
Sorry,
have you ever had a
the motion has been filed.
I was a bankruptcy attorney, so I didn't have to deal with any of
So you have to do anything, okay.
the criminal
And,
stuff.
and to be clear, because everybody thinks that he was convicted on the sexual assaults, but the biggest thing was that it was federal racketeering, sex trafficking charges for a decade-long basically scheme to recruit underage girls. Those were the charges that he was actually going through this particular last trial with. So
when you cross state lines, people think Michael Vick went to jail for them dog fighting. No, he went to jail because he was crossing state lines and gambling. They didn't give a damn what he was gambling on. He was when you start crossing state lines, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what what do you want us to do? Like, we still line dance to your stuff. Like, I don't know. We still stepping in the name of love.
I just heard one of his songs the other day, and I was like, ooh, you know, and people on social media, you know, of course, because R. Kelly has been a long time R&B croner. He's like one of our Black icons in music. What'd he say?
Billy said, "Sexy Mo, why are you glowing like a light bug's booty on a dark night in Arkansas?"
Shout out to my 501. Am I going? Oh,
yes.
You got a little glow. You got a little Vegas glow.
That's the highlighter.
Not the lighting.
I leave tomorrow. Maybe it's the lighting. I have my hair pulled up today instead of down, so it doesn't cast a shadow.
Yeah, we can't do nothing. But you look
I got
good.
my summer makeup on. I don't know.
Yeah, you look nice. You look nice. Y'all both look nice. Y'all both look nice. But R. Kelly, we can't do nothing for you. We wish you all. But we don't even wish you nothing. We just, you know. I'm not even wishing you luck because I don't know what you did if you really did it. So I can't wish you luck if you.
His new legal team has filed a motion in court to I guess ascertain a new trial. So we'll see if that's even approved.
I'm gonna tell all y'all celebrities
We'll see.
All my heterosexual celebrities right now who are stars, the most dangerous thing you could do now is have sex. And I ain't even talking about catching nothing, because they could turn that on you in a second. I mean, there's, from Bill Cosby to R. Kelly, and I'm not saying them people are innocent. I'm just saying be very careful unless you got consent. If you got people signing consents and witnesses that say this is all consensual, they can turn it. Look, Trey Songz about to go down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you see Neo happily married. Neo don't even mess with nobody. Neo said, "I'm out of here."
Neo, you see Pharrell. Pharrell never gets in trouble. You know why? Because his wife is. Every time you see him, you see her. And it's about having people in your corner. But I think R. Kelly's situation was totally different because even his wife came out and said that she was abused and that she was really felt like she was a captive in her own home and so forth. A lot of times. So, what are you going to do? We're going to watch this again. We're going to continue to watch this play out and see how it unfolds.
What does anybody still have those R. Kelly videos? Somebody has to still have them.
Well, I know some of them. I know the original evidence that has been turned over. Remember, those were VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And after a while, VHS tapes lose their their clarity. And so if you make a duplicate, but a lot of times if you make a duplicate, that's not the original source. So then the other half can say, oh, it was tampered with because this is not the original footage. So there's a lot of things that are lost behind having
lawyer Mo,
evidence on VHS.
I just want to know, are you paying people to do your marketing?
For a good one.
Are you paying people to do your marketing on the comments? Put that last comment. Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, what is that? That's the Finer Friday.
Yeah, it is Finer Fridays. Even though I have on my Kevin Kirksey shirt, it is Finer Fridays. Yes, Erica. Thank you, girl.
It's been on the show for how long? There's a lot of comments popping off in one day. Like,
there was.
There's a whole lot. All right, are we done
now?
I'm
getting into something. I'm gonna get to see my fiance this weekend, so it's. I'm
where's that
excited.
at? Where you got to go? Oh, you're not allowed to say it. I'm sorry.
Well, since you're asking, I'm assuming that this is starting to be a norm to ask like where I am these days. I'm going to be in Atlanta this weekend.
Oh, so you're in the ATL.
Yeah,
Tell
ATL
T.I.
this
we said
weekend.
what's up.
I'm looking at going to a lot of Black restaurants. I have a few on my list that I want to look
Go to
at
the
every
old
time I
lady
go.
game. Candy Burris, the old lady game.
Okay,
That's where I
so
wanna
full
go.
transparency, the food is not. It's not bad, but it's not like, oh my God, I just got to get
Talk
there.
about what's the old lady thing? What are we talking about?
Candy Burris
That's
from
Candy
Real
and her
Housewives,
mother's.
Escape. She
Did
got
y'all
the
think
restaurant.
did y'all really think the restaurant was gonna be banging?
But this is the problem.
It's
We
hard
don't
to get.
support our
Yeah.
Black people. Look now, Mo's
No,
about to
but
kill
she gets support. I'm not saying that. I started it off with a positive. I said I'm not saying that it's not good, but the wait, the wait and the time or whatever, and for me to get the food.
Black folk are they customer service. Go ahead, say it, Mo.
No,
Jesus,
I'm saying it wasn't. I did support. I went.
Yes.
I paid for my food, and all I'm saying is that the wings were good, but I've had better elsewhere. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. That's a fair critique.
Fair.
I mean,
Fair.
you're still
It was
good.
Yes,
Yeah, they're good.
But there's
They weren't-
so many good eats in Atlanta that are owned by Black businesses that I'm hopping around. I want to see what they have to offer.
I mean, they weren't Hooters wings. No, I'm playing. I was going to say Hooters.
Yeah, just a little overrated. I'm giving her the same critique that I would give the small Black business owner. She's out there. She's not a restaurateur, so this is her first hand or second hand try at having a restaurant. So.
Well, God bless. We want her to do well. So enjoy Atlanta.
Absolutely.
And, do everything and make sure get to that airport early because you already know it'd be.
I have not
in these
had
airports.
luck. I have not had luck in the airports. I got stuck in Miami 2 weekends ago, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, I never get the sexy stuck in Miami. I'm stuck in St. Louis and shit. Like I don't feel bad for you. I'm never stuck in Miami.
You get stuck in Charlotte.
Yeah, stuck in some random area just with no Wi-Fi. All right, Leah, thank you so much. We got to talk to you next week.
Yes, we love you.
Have a fantastic, amazing weekend, everybody. Don't forget that event is next Saturday, the outdoor meditation. Go to Leah Frazier's Instagram and you can follow everything about her if you want to get down with all the activities that she has going on. I'm Michael Shawn. That's Leah Frazier. That's Sexy Mo. That's Jay Black and Shawnee Scott. Everybody who joined the show today, Amir Sealy and everybody. Our guy Frank, the most hilarious funeral director.
Savory.
And Savory.
Don't mess his name up.
Yes.
Don't mess his name up.
Don't mess it up.
He'll kill you, then he'll do your funeral, damn it. Listen, love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that and understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything. Fight for your happiness and never let anybody take it from you. We will see y'all on Monday. Be safe, y'all. Yeah, y'all.
Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in. Tap in.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top.